dos, tres, cuatro.
We'll wait for GG. You can join whenever. He got the link, so he's late today. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's G's fault today, guys. Surprisingly enough, Mo got back with his bag from IHOP right at 3:59, so it's not Mo's fault.
Just in time.
I don't deserve this.
Just in time. Just in time.
This is the weekly thing now, man. God damn.
Oh yeah,
burn it on yourself. You should have
never brought it on yourself.
You should have never told anybody that information. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was bad information to speak
3
about.
to 4 times a week, bro.
Or you should have lied. You should have just lied and made it up, you know. But 4 times a week, IHOP steaks, yeah.
So how bad is your toilet after that? Because you eating that shit 4 times a week, dude. Like,
stomach gotta be on 10, boy.
I'm not doing this today
because my kid has Hirschsprung's disease.
No, honestly, that wasn't even the part that upset me. It was just steak from IHOP. I don't understand. Like, who goes to IHOP and gets steak? Like, I've never seen that. I've never seen anybody get anything besides a breakfast meal at IHOP. That's what threw me off. So I didn't even know they had steak at IHOP.
When he goes and gets a steak on Tuesday, he's still chewing his steak from Monday. That shit.
Just for you, man. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what the steak's about. Now, if I try this IHOP steak,
I mean, it's not a. Don't expect anything.
We should all one Sunday for the stream all get an IHOP steak and try it.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what they.
It's just okay.
There's an IHOP down the road for me. I never go there because obviously, but
yeah, there's IHOPs around here. I'll check it out. I'll see what they're cooking with. Now I'll get a backup meal just in case that shit's ass.
Backup meal.
Just in case it's bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today.
Ouch, Matt Thunder. Whew.
Wow.
G's catching strays in chat. Sorry.
Yeah, cook him for once. Leave me alone. Yeah. Golly.
Penn Balor, he definitely got the Penn Balor, man. Penn Balor stuff.
G's in the chat talking shit.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of crazy. G's watching, but he's not here. That's crazy work. Able to watch, but not able to be a part of the pod. That's crazy. Today we're gonna talk just some Triple H. So I think there were certain people in the chat who think they had certain things they wanted to talk about and say. So we can talk about the good and the bad of the Triple H booking. I guess first things first. The main question is, at this stage now, do we feel like Triple H gets too much love, too much credit for main roster booking? Obviously, we know what NXT was like, but NXT's in the past now. We're here, so do we feel like maybe he gets too much credit, or maybe a pass? He gets too much of a pass, too much.
So my answer is no, and all I have to do to answer that question is remember what things were like under Vince McMahon. They were so bad. Were so bad. So anything's going to be an improvement. I'm not going to. Now, did we maybe get lost in the honeymoon phase a little bit? Maybe a little. There's things we'll talk about. But that's the thing I want everyone to remember is today we're not here to say, oh, we needs to be a change in the guard or Triple H needs to hand over the. No one is saying that because we all saw what happened last time Triple H didn't have control. So obviously we understand. But as Triple H has gone and as we've kind of seen his patterns develop, there are things that he gets wrong, and in some cases very, very wrong. Now, I will also say, again, there are things he gets very, very right, because I am the one who surprised you all by letting you know that for the first time in her entire career, Nia Jax looks like a wrestler. Her and Naomi just had the match of the night on SmackDown this past Friday. So there are things he still gets very, very right, but definitely things he gets very, very wrong. However, please remember as we talk about this, it could always be worse. Just want everyone to keep that in mind.
Be a lot worse.
Did people forget 2019, bro? 2019, 2020, 2021.
Yeah, no, terrible. Yeah. No, I think Triple H is. Do I think he gets too much of a pass? It depends on who you talk to. I think that it's not even Triple H who's like the main issue. It's the fact that you can't criticize Triple H online specifically. Like, but amongst us, it's fine. But like, there's that group of fans who you criticize Triple H, and they always try to like, oh, but you don't see the story, you don't understand, and then like they'll use like, but he's not Vince though. It's like, yeah, but it's also like you have higher expectations for someone who's actually good at their job, and like, yeah, he's not Vince, which is great. It could be worse. But then there's people who will abuse that and like, well, like he's like Vince would have did this. It's like, okay, but this is Triple H. He's been trying to tell this story for 3 months and it's still not good. So like, I feel like I feel like it's really hard online to criticize Triple H because there's always going to be that group of fans who will jump on you. Even wrestlers who leave the company and say, like MVP, like he literally said, like that he was better under Vince's management, which is true. Like under Triple H's management, he didn't do shit. But under Vince's management, he was the manager of the WWE champion. And there's nothing wrong with him saying that because it's true. He didn't say that Vince McMahon is a great person. He didn't say that he's going to go to court and defend Vince McMahon and that Vince McMahon didn't do anything that we said. He just said that when Triple H took over, he didn't grow as a character. I mean, there's literal proof of that. He did not grow as a character. Bobby Lashley was significantly pushed down the card after 2022. And I get it, he's old, but he could have had one more title in him. Like, you cannot deny that WWE fumbled the bag on that. Triple H specifically fumbled the bag on Bobby, and that Bobby was better booked under Vince. Like, it's literally like right there in front of you. And like, there's a group of fans who will jump on you and crucify you just for stating the blatantly obvious. And it's fine. There's wrestlers who were booked better under Vince. Austin Theory was booked better under Vince than he was Triple H. And that's just the nature of wrestling that I think a lot of fans don't understand or refuse to understand. And I don't know if it's because they're newer or because they love Triple H so much. But it's really the fans who make it really hard to like criticize Triple H is what I'm trying to say.
Oh God, Triple H is AEW.
It goes both ways with WWE and AEW. I think it's like the tribalism, effect when it comes to people who are so into AEW, which is great, but they feel like Tony Khan maybe can do no wrong, or people who are really into WWE, they feel like Triple H can do no wrong. You know what I mean? And like you said, there are certain people that are going to be booked better under certain people. Like Triple H had his visions of people that he liked, Bobby Lashley, for some reason, not saying he didn't value Bobby Lashley, but he didn't utilize Bobby Lashley to the max that Vince did. And, he had other ideas for other people. Like, he literally brought back LA Knight. LA Knight was Max Dupree under Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was cooked. Like, that Maximum Model stuff was not going to go anywhere long term. LA Knight, had to get a research under Triple H, and now he's one of the biggest stars they got in the company, So it just depends. There are certain people who are going to speak highly of Triple H because they have better booking under him. Then there's going to be certain people who may not speak highly just because their booking wasn't as great. You can't please everybody, you know what I mean? And that's like literally the most impossible thing to do as a wrestling fan is to please the audience. Like, not everybody who watches is gonna like every single thing. Like, I feel like that's impossible. I don't think any of us have ever watched WWE throughout our life or anything in wrestling and liked maybe every single thing on the show that everybody was doing. Like, every single thing. Like, there's gonna be things that you like, things that you don't like. I just choose not to pay attention to the stuff that I don't like and just pay attention to the stuff that I do like. I mean, that's just how I've always watched it. Like, all right, I don't like this. Well, I still like this though, and they got this going on. I'll just watch that and not pay attention to that much because that doesn't really appeal to me. And everybody's gonna appeal to different stuff. I don't know if he really gets a pass as much. Maybe a little bit. I do think some people can glaze a little too much. Some people can also hate a little too much, though. It kind of goes both ways. So I feel like there are certain people who will try to defend certain decisions that are just blatantly bad. Like, all right, that was terrible, though. Like, how can you deny that was terrible? But certain people will try to defend it. Certain people will try to bring down something that is really good and try to bring it down for some reason, like it wasn't that great when it really was that good. So it's like there are certain people who don't want to give him credit for being good and doing good things, but then they also don't want to criticize him when he does bad things either. So there's like no balance in it. And I think it honestly comes from the tribalism. I think it comes from the AEW hardcore fans and the WWE hardcore fans. There's no in between. Like, AEW hardcore fans don't want to give anything good WWE does any credit. WWE hardcore fans aren't going to want to give anything good that AEW does, so there's no mix.
I feel like with Triple H, there's things that people need to understand because this isn't NXT anymore. This is the main roster. So one I'll say is not everybody that you saw under Triple H's regime in NXT is going to be able to replicate that on the main roster. It's a completely different fan base. It's a completely different audience. Your Johnny Garganos, your Tommaso Ciampas, your guys like that, very, very slim chance that they'll ever sniff a world title scene on the main roster. It is what it is. That's the audience. Two, there's different people from the NXT regime that probably weren't as successful that's going to be successful on the main roster, which is why a lot of them get prioritized more. Like a good example I can use is the women's division, right? Mia Yim in NXT in black and gold, she was like a contender for the NXT Women's Championship. Not so much this time around, but a person like Tiffany Stratton can immediately come up and make an impact because she appeals more. So I feel like people should pump the brakes a little bit when people say, "Oh, Triple H is fumbling this person, Triple H is fumbling that person." I wouldn't say it's a fumble because a guy like Karrion Kross was one of the most dominant NXT champions in history, and then coming to the main roster, he's finally starting to find rhythm. So it's very hard to replicate something. It's very hard to replicate, what people did in NXT on the main roster. What I will say though is, to Jade's point, compared to Vince McMahon, 100%, this shit is way better. Like, you would rather have what Triple H is doing right now compared to what the fuck Vince did. However, though, I hold Triple H, current day Triple H, compared to current day Vince on a completely different standard, though. The way how people were glazing Triple H when he was first announced. Who got an ice cream truck coming around? What the hell?
That's my phone. Sorry.
You good? No. So what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is though is compared to current day Vince and compared to current day Triple H, I hold Triple H to a different standard, to a different degree. Which is fair. So whenever I see, and Jay, don't worry, I'm not disagreeing with you. So when I see people glazing Triple H, immediately that it was announced he was taking over creative and that he has a new position in the company, and when they put him on this standard, and to me, when I'm grading Triple H and he doesn't hit that standard, that's where I feel like sometimes he gets a pass. Like, we've talked about an example I'll use, right? We talked numerous times about Austin Theory, how the Money in the Bank briefcase was held, right? He did although it's the worst cash in ever, he did a great job of taking, the briefcase off of Theory. What I won't give a pass on Triple H for is how he handled Theory after that. To me, I thought Theory was cooked way before John Cena because Theory cheated every single match he was in. He was never established as a credible champion. He never beat anybody clean. The last person he beat clean was Dolph Ziggler. And that was on a singles match before he even won the title. I mean, so when I grade Triple H on that degree, there is some things I'll say he fumbled on and that he didn't do well, and I won't let his good booking decisions like outweigh that. Like, he has
you grade him on a curve. Yeah, I mean, which is fair, which is entirely fair to understand that he's doing great things, but we can't assume that everything is good just because everything would be so bad if Vince McMahon was still around. I mean, it's perfectly fair.
I compare it to when AEW was at its peak. AEW was at its peak. Granted, when it first came, we had some rough months, but I think everything always gets inflated or devalued based on what else is out there. What I mean by that, 2019 WWE, around the same time AEW started, we all know what 2019 WWE was. So AEW, first starting, kind of gave us back that NXT takeover feeling with the guys that we love seeing and some of the guys that maybe people didn't get to see in America on a regular basis. Totally different ballgame. They hit their peak 2021. We get the Adam Cole debut, Bryan Danielson, the Belt Collector. They hitting the Hangman story. They hitting their stride. And then Triple H takes over SummerSlam. And it's like, it shifts. All of a sudden, oh snap, WWE is looking like they on the come up, and AEW slowly but surely starting to hit a decline. What's going on, right? I think when we look at like the way Triple H has been booked, when he first came here, it was almost like, all right, first playing field. I'm not going to hold anything against you that happened before you came into power. And then even after he came into power, we heard Vince was backstage tearing up scripts again, and Seth Rollins was going out there and then leaving right after commercial break because Vince changed the script in the middle of commercial, right? So it was like, it took us a minute, but then once we finally got like the true Vince is gone, it was like, all right, fresh playing field. Let's see what you do. And now we have to give him time, but I think grading based on what we see around him, right, can kind of be a slippery slope. Because I think right now people are like, oh, well, this is much better than what it was under Vince. Yeah, you're right. But now you got to put Triple H you can't grade Triple H's booking on a Vince McMahon scale. Because if you grade Triple H booking on a Vince McMahon scale, well, shit, everything's a 5 out of 5. Everything's a freaking 7-star match. Everything. I mean, shoot, like even the bathroom break matches clear some of the main event matches Vince was putting on. Right? So you gotta make sure that you grade on a new scale. I used to watch this. I don't watch them. I don't watch them as much anymore, but I used to watch this channel called Wrestle Talk. And around the time AEW was at its peak, I remember they said something that I like kind of stuck with me forever, because they were addressing people that was who were grading AEW like differently than they did WWE. And they said was like, well, AEW has a natural, and at the time this was true, a better quality. So we grade on a different scale than we do with, so we might give an AEW show that had this, that, and the third a 4 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5, right? Because, you know, maybe some lack of story, but a Vince show that was horrible that had maybe 2 things, we also gave it a 3 out of 5 because those 2 things that happened were probably way more than what happened in the past 4 or 5 weeks. And so it's on a different scale. And I think at this point, everything has to be an even playing field, because AEW, I think, has the more natural talent in ring across the board. Like, that's just, it is what it is. And now AEW, I feel like WWE, I feel like now has the better story, like consistent stories all across, but everything's got to be even field now. And I feel like, to your point, Jay, Malik, Lewis, the hardcores are what's really messing that up, because everybody wants to grade on their own scale. And if they don't get, you know, the same type of, or they don't base it off of their scale, then it's like it changes everything. As far as the overall question, I think Triple H, when he first started, was getting all the passes. I think that's changed now. I think we're starting to level out a little bit, even though some of it I think was unwarranted. Like the whole, like, you can't book black people. I think that was unwarranted. That was crazy. But up until that Queen of the Ring tournament, that women's division was, I don't know what he was doing. Right? War Games is honestly kind of, thank God for War Games this year, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what he would be doing with that Raw women's division if it wasn't for War Games. I don't know what he would be doing. Like, I really don't. So I think it's kind of summered down a little bit, but I think for his highs, like what I think he's done with the tag division on the male side in general, maybe not as of late, but in general, I think you can look at his lows as well, where the women's division very top heavy.
Can we also before Mo, I know Mo has some shit to say, but I also would like everybody to just chill out with the notion that Triple H can fix everything and everyone, because he can't. There's just some, like, I remember when Triple H took over and like almost a year in, people were blaming him for so many superstars still not being used, even though they were good under him. But it's just unfortunate that as soon as Triple H got there, some guys were already cooked, and there's only so much Triple H can do. It is what it is. Like a guy like Shinsuke, I'm sorry that you guys saw him as world champion, but that was not going to happen. Vince McMahon fucked that up for you guys. Triple H did as much as he can to build him up to that level. Yeah, Shayna Baszler. I think Shayna Baszler in a little bit of better state now with this mid-card title. So hopefully, praise God, some shit happens soon with her. Hopefully. But yeah, no, I think people got to relax that Triple H can fix everything. Triple H can't. There's only so much he can do. And
there was some that there's some that he could have, but he didn't. He could have fixed Finn Balor, but he didn't, unfortunately.
No, he 100% could have. He was on the verge of doing it, and he fucked up. He was
this close. Should have won at Mania.
He said, "Geez, slow down."
But honestly, though, the way.
What you mean?
Yeah, boy, you inhaling that, bro?
Honestly, though, what I will say though is, for people shitting on him for not pulling the trigger on shit or anything like that, I would say Triple H needs more credit to understand. Like, if we remember the position Shin was in before that Rollins feud, and then after, like, bro, I mean, the dude built him up to be a world title contender on Raw. Like, that's way better than anything Shin did the past 3 fucking years. Yeah, so
I want to let Mo get in here. I got one more general point. Mo, go, and then I got one more general point I want to make before we get into specifics.
Is it that good, bro?
Yeah. So I'm very torn when it comes to Triple H. Take a breath, bro. I'm very torn when it comes to Triple H.
Hey, Malik, how about you spell breath correctly?
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Damn, he is right though.
Yeah,
Cuz, what the fuck are you eating, bro?
Yeah, you went. It was like fries, pasta, or something.
I loaded.
He always eats on the pod, bro. Let me eat before you come over.
Wait, you eat the fries first?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You don't do both? You don't do both?
Yeah, what's wrong with eating the fries first?
Well, I don't know if y'all have it. I don't know if y'all
have it.
It's called a Willie's.
Yeah.
But it was it's a Texas fried chicken sandwich with like bacon, queso. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't put no fries. You don't mix your fries with your sandwich, man.
Not this one because I don't need to.
What are we doing?
Oh.
He said, "What are we doing?"
Go, Mo. Go, bro. Go.
All right, sorry.
So we're gonna do a mukbang one day.
We're talking about food.
We got to. But no, what I was saying was I'm very torn about Triple H. One thing I'm really grateful for Triple H, like the point you guys have made pretty much, like the shows are very much watchable now. Like I can sit there and watch a full episode of Raw and not feel like I wasted my time. Now, there are things on the shows that I don't like, but that's for every era. Like people take the bad things Triple H does and inflate it, make it a bigger problem than it actually is. Like most of the shows are actually very watchable compared to what we were getting. Now, one problem I do have with Triple H and the people that defend Triple H very heavily is his brand of long-term storytelling. Right? While I do enjoy long-term storytelling, there's a difference between telling a long-term story that people are actually enjoying, you're adding to every single week, versus a story that you've been telling for 3 months and it's dragging and there's no progress to it. And I feel like when you criticize those kind of stories, people are so quick to be like, let it cook. Bruh, we've been letting it cook for 3 months and it's still rare. Literally I'm good, bro. Like let me criticize this.
It's still rare.
Yeah, one thing that Lewis said too, though, like we gotta stop. I think we're guilty of this in the beginning, but we got to stop comparing NXT to main roster. Like NXT's booking is just not the same as the main roster booking. It never has been. It's a different audience. It's a different people to appeal to. Different people you got to enter to on the main roster. Like Shawn Michaels, I think and Triple H, I think had more freedom to watch NXT. But no, Triple H had more freedom because there were superstars that even said Vince didn't watch NXT. That's why he was.
Bro, Juice and Thunder Liger was in NXT, bro.
Yeah,
literally, bro.
Vince wasn't even watching NXT for a period of time. That's why he was changing people when they came up to the main roster because he didn't know their gimmicks. You know what I mean? So that's why we got people changing, and that's why we had the fear of certain people going up to the main roster because we already knew what was going to happen at that time. There's more freedom in NXT because there's a different audience to appeal to, and I think they don't have certain people to answer to like you do on the main roster. You don't have to answer to certain casuals, certain people, and certain boards. You don't have to answer to certain sponsors, like there's certain things that you have to answer to on the main roster that you probably don't do with NXT because not everybody who watches WWE's product even watches NXT. Like for people who don't watch NXT, when Shinsuke Nakamura comes to the main roster and he gets cooked, well, you think he sucks because you didn't see what he did in NXT. So he's not appealing to you because you didn't see what his presentation was before that. People who do watch NXT, we know that he didn't suck, but he just got misused, and it was just unfortunate for the circumstances that he was in. So I think that's one of the main issues that Triple H took the black and gold era and made it one of the best eras WWE had. He was outshining the main roster for years. There were times when takeovers were even better than WrestleMania, and takeovers, were before the WrestleManias, and WrestleMania was supposed to be the biggest show of the year. So, you kind of already saw that, Triple H had a better vision for what WWE was going to be. And if you look at the last few years, he's been in charge. It's just been significantly better. He's revived the product. It's more watchable. I actually enjoy watching. I actually enjoy going to the shows to engage with it. Like I enjoy making content about it. Like I enjoy just watching the product as a whole. The last 2 WrestleManias that Triple H has been in charge in have been better than any Vince WrestleMania since WrestleMania 31. That was almost 10 years ago. Like every other WrestleMania before that was either bad or were just significantly average. Ever since Triple H has taken over, he's just given better quality for shows, especially the big shows. Now, some of the B+ shows could be iffy. Maybe they need to start doing more maybe like 6 matches or something. But when it comes to the big shows, I mean, he had maybe one bad SummerSlam last year was okay, but even the big shows, they're crazy good.
Even the B-level shows, I still think we care about it way more. Like if No Mercy came back on the main roster, with Triple H booking it, I'm gonna care about it. I'm not gonna dread having to watch a B-level pay-per-view where you try to promote it like it's a big deal, but I know ain't nobody finna watch it. You know what I mean? So I even think even the B-levels, I mean, I also think it helps that he keeps putting them in foreign countries, but even the B-level pay-per-views, I think I just feel like everything matters. It feels like even like I feel like a Chelsea Green Piper Niven versus Bianca and Jade. I feel like that matters.
It means
whereas before it's kind of like a throwaway. Where like even Jade, I think I heard you talk about it too. Jade and Nia and Naomi on SmackDown, be the main event. I'm like, that's interesting. Didn't see that coming. But let's see what happens. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought Naomi was about to win. I was like, oh,
cooked.
Are they actually gonna do it? Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like even those little things, I just feel like they matter a lot more now. Like, everything matters. Like, everything is meticulous.
Two things to your point about Triple H taking the big pay-per-views international. First of all, to anyone who has a problem with that, got some advice for you. Get fucking better. Quit being such shitty crowds.
Get a passport.
They'll stop taking the fucking pay-per-views overseas. I'm so sick and tired. And the pay-per-views are a little bit better than the weekly Raws and SmackDowns, but if you crowds don't start doing better, those Raws and SmackDowns are going to be in Italy too. So get up off your asses and enjoy the show.
They will be at WrestleMania.
Get off your damn cell phones. Stand up out of your seat and watch the fucking show like people used to do. That's number one. Number two, getting back to Triple H. Here's my biggest problem with Triple H is inconsistency. It's so inconsistent. Like right now, the SmackDown tag team title scene with Motor City Machine Guns and fucking you got the Street Profits doing some heel shit, and you got Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano doing the SmackDown tag scene looks great. Raw tag scene look like Dookie. It is not good. No one cares about the Raw tag team title scene right now. No one cares who has the titles. No one cares who's going after them. No one cares about the stories. No one cares. And then the Intercontinental Championship, when Gunther had it, it was cinema. It was bigger than anything else that was going on. After Gunther lost it, now it's back to being relegated as a storyline advancer. Because the only reason, and I love Jey Uso, the one and only reason Jey Uso won that damn Intercontinental Championship was so that the new Bloodline could cost him the title and give him a reason to join back up with his brother. That's it. If they didn't need that to happen, if they didn't need it, and we called this months ago, by the way, we called that it was going to take something like that to drag Jey back into it, but it didn't need to be the Intercontinental Championship. And now you've hot potatoed it back to Braun Breaker, and now it's just sitting there doing nothing. LA Knight started off great. Lately has been a lot more slow. Everything is so inconsistent. The women's division is so imbalanced. If you're at the top of the card, you're doing great shit. If you're at the bottom of the card, enjoy catering, my friend. It's so inconsistent. That's what drives me crazy about watching it.
I think we talked about it on the pod before, but the one that what's crazy about Shawn Michaels and Triple H's booking is that Shawn Michaels is really good at the mid-card division. Triple H is really good at the main event scene. Like the main event scenes are really cooking on the main roster. Mid-card on the main roster, not so much. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels mid-card roster is better than his main event roster right now in NXT.
Well, actually,
I'll give Shawn a pass because Trick Williams sucks.
Damn.
Yeah.
But even then, they don't really have too many contenders for Trick Williams though. Like he about to see Rich out.
But
you know what I'm saying, like,
I hear you. But no. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's not wrong, but yeah. Anyways,
he's not
wrong for different reasons. I don't think he sucks. I just think he's in a bad.
I was gonna say anyway, sucks is crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he sucks. He's just in a bad position. It was never gonna work. Anyways, I feel like honestly, this is how I feel. Y'all know me. I'm a 3-hour advocate. I have no problem with 3-hour shows because I've seen it work and I think it right. You know me. I'm a 3-hour advocate. You're right. But here's that's why I DVR everything and fast forward through commercials. Anyways, I feel like what really sucks, you either need to make both of them 2 hours or both of them 3. And the reason why I say that is because the mid-card for SmackDown is atrocious for a while. And then it picked up with the little three-way feud, right? Now, I'm not a fan of Santos Escobar getting this or that little feud that they're trying to do.
They've been trying to tell that story for months, on and off.
I know, right. But then with the introduction of Shinsuke, I'm like, okay, well, there's something there. Melo, even though Melo and Andrade were on TV, they can come back and still do something, right? They're not like washed away in the wind, never to be seen again. But when we get to Raw, the problem is you're not using your mid-card enough or centered around the title. So, like, yeah, Sheamus and Braun Breaker seems like they going into a little feud. Ludwig was supposed to be around that. I guess him getting hurt stopped that, right? Sammy just went back to the Bloodline. So it's like, well, now what do you do? Oh, I know. Let's set up war games on both shows to buy us some time before we start reintroducing folks. Karrion Kross got busy. And the New Day, I mean, shoot. There's a lot of things going on to where now that it's 2 hours, we're starting to see, I think even more now, you really don't really have the depth to tell stories. Because now, from week to week, the War Raiders won that tournament like 3 weeks ago. Why hasn't a match happened yet? Or I think a match
haven't even built to that match. I don't even think they've been building that match.
Well, I think
they haven't even announced when it's happening. They just said there's no contenders.
Carlito and Dom are supposed to fight the War Raiders. So I'm assuming that's the War Games match, like the tag titles of the War Games match. Because Carlito and Dom are supposed to fight them next week to like build to it or something. I don't know. But it's just, I feel like you have to have, and now that both of them are 2 hours right now, it's like, I feel like they think they don't have enough time to tell all their stories. I feel like that's what Triple H thinks. I think Triple H thinks he got so used to trying to tell stories on 3 hours where, we don't really have enough time to do it now. So, what do? Oh, I know. Throw War Games on both shows because that's what they have to do. That's why Bianca and Jade have been putting in mad extra work, and Nia and Tiffany.
Get them a bonus, bro. God damn.
Facts.
No, they've been killing it with the tag team. I mean, the tag team division for the women has gotten a lot better, honestly. They're starting to make it work. Like you said, Bianca and Jay they carrying a lot of the load right now, bro. Like that's what
I feel they should have done from the jump. Like that's what I thought. Yeah. But then they lost in Ireland. I'm like,
but even if you look at that though, like I feel like Triple H, the main roster has an issue making the balance. Like they're focusing a lot on the women's tag team division, which is good, but the men's tag team division, bro, it's like it's starting to get good now on SmackDown, but I mean it's been bad since WrestleMania, for being honest. Like it's been bad since then. So they're focusing on one but not focusing on the other, and they're trying to, I feel like you got to make a balance where you're trying to focus on both, like make both work, at the same time. So it's good for the women's tag team titles now. Once Bianca and Jay lose them, I don't know what's gonna happen after that. You know what I'm saying? I guess it depends on who they lose them to, but I feel like there's no balance where NXT just feels, I don't know, it feels more balanced. And I think, that's what people want on the main roster. But unfortunately, the main roster is it's a different beast when it comes to different avenues and different aspects. More storylines are going to take more time to fold. Even if you look at that Bloodline segment on SmackDown, that brawl, like I was watching it and it was good, but I was like, damn, the brawl taking. It's a good extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Like they took a while with this.
It's the match damn near.
Like it took a while for Braun to come like that, but the Bloodline story they have the right to do that because that's been the best story they've been telling and the people involved. So they can, if they do that extra time, nobody's really going to complain about that. They're not going to say much about that. So,
but if you give extra time to the Pure Fusion Collective, we're going to be like, all right, bro. We're like,
oh my, weekly Pure Fusion Collective dig makes my Sunday every single Sunday.
Just the name.
Did Shayna get paid?
Does anyone know what that name means? Does anyone know?
I have no idea.
I think they're just. I guess it's their styles just fused together.
They're pure in their fusion, bro. They collect,
and they fuse their styles collectively fused together. I think that's what it means.
They pure in their fusion, bro.
That name.
So they're all one person. So
that name
my
is
eyes
terrible.
are playing tricks because I see three.
That's worse than the Pride. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I've said before. I love Shayna Baszler. I love Zoe Stark. But this is different.
But this is also another Triple H issue, like him putting people together just to put people together on the main roster, Right. Like why are you putting these people together if you're not gonna do anything? Like I get they may be friends, Shayna, they all may be cool.
And to be fair, on paper, this stable should have worked. Like on paper, it should have worked.
Yeah,
but it's just
the Pride.
It's just something that it's just something that
the Pride definitely should have worked.
This is what I say all the time. obviously this is real world. Everybody can't go undefeated, right? Everybody can't go undefeated. But my biggest pet peeve, and Triple H doesn't do it as often, but he's definitely done it for the lower card. My biggest pet peeve is when you put a new group together and they lose off the rip. Why in the world did the Street Profits of Bobby Lashley lose their first match to Carlito? Carlito came and made the save and 1v3 them niggas. That makes no sense, guys. They was handling Rey Mysterio on the boys. Carlito comes back.
Took out Rey Mysterio's left knee, bro.
Facts.
1v3 them niggas.
Yeah.
Pure Fusion Collective, when they first debuted, I was like, let me find out Sonya Deville got these girls some aura back. Lost their first match to Kaden Carter and Katana Chance and them. I'm like, I guess you're what's the point?
It's too good to be true.
Bro, I genuinely can't stand when they do that. I don't get it. Like, because even though he's very much lower, I think, popularity-wise, for example, has anybody seen Giovanni Vinci? Has anybody seen that nigga? No.
I heard he's getting punished though.
Yeah, I heard those rumors too, and they're starting to be more prevalent.
Yeah.
Apparently, he may have made a pass at Tiffany.
He tried to mac on Tiffany. That's why they broke him up.
Yeah.
I think they said that's why Imperium split. I think his booking is on Triple H. I don't think Ludwig has that type of pull to just be like,
fuck that nigga. Gunther might.
I don't see Gunther doing that.
And Ludwig been
don't besmirch my glorious King's
Gunther
name.
minding his business.
I know, but
I'm saying don't besmirch my glorious King's name.
No. But in fairness though, if he really pulled a Dolph and tried to mac on Shawty while she was still, if everybody knows they
I kicked the nigga out too. I don't care what you do afterwards, but you get out my group.
It just sounds like.
But he lost to Apollo though. That's what makes it worse.
To me, it just sounds like they broke him up just to separate them because tensions were probably high as shit. Like they were probably gonna scrap or something. Well, you know them Europeans gonna fight anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's my biggest pet peeve.
Luke was like, pull up.
I can't stand when you try to make a new group.
Right now.
Like only group that really came together that I was cool with them losing, real talk, was Final Testament. And the only reason I say that is because I feel like they serve a higher purpose. That's the only reason I say that. I feel like their main goal is to turn everybody heel. That's their main goal
now, I see the vision.
I'm sorry. One more thing I wanted to say. We were talking about like long-term storytelling. The New Day is an example of a story that's taken a while to tell, but it's done right. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory is an example of you taking too long to tell.
That shit just stopped. No, it's not like it's taking too long. That shit just stopped.
Yeah.
They stopped doing it.
They teased the breakup happening, and then they're not teasing.
They literally got to a point. I remember they literally got to a point in the story where you watched it and felt like, okay, it's coming next week. This is done. Like they did a thing where Austin like tagged him, or Grayson tagged himself in, and Austin like got in his face, pushed him around a little bit, and it's like, all right, next week it's happening, and then they just did a Grayson Waller.
Did nothing.
I bet you guys a bag of fucking Skittles that there's going to be a Mania match.
A bag of Skittles.
A bag of Skittles.
I don't even think Triple H cares.
They might just do a Grayson Waller segment. Theory just turns on him right there.
That was a perfect segue for you to bring up that shit that you hate about. That you can't stand, and Triple H has done it and not as often. Because I have a good one. Can you stop fucking calling people up with no plans? Can you stop that shit? That shit is annoying. We had that shit with Kiana James.
I was about to say, where's Kiana James?
We had that shit with
Odyssey Jones. She's hurt.
We had this shit with Odyssey Jones for over a year. We understand why he's not on TV now. We had that shit with Odyssey Jones over. You caught up Dijak for no fucking reason.
He got punished. He got punished. I think Dijak was for sure punishment.
Corbin,
they found out he was the one. He was the one sending stuff to Sean Ross. And I think
that's fucking fake.
I don't think we ever got proof of that.
We never got proof.
But
no, I said when we talked about that before, and I said it feels like something happened with Dijak, but I don't have proof that happened. By the way, Matt Thunder in chat brought up a very good point. DIY were the ones that drove the nail between Grayson and Austin in the first place, and now DIY are going to break up before Grayson and Austin.
I don't think they're breaking up. I think they're both turning heel.
They're turning heel.
I think he's going to convince Gargano to turn heel with him. I don't think they're breaking up.
I would prefer that.
Because if they break up, you have no tag division.
Yeah,
right.
You have no tag division.
But I'm just tired of them calling people up and not doing anything with it. If I remember correctly,
Blair Davenport, good.
Dijak told an interviewer that the plans were for him to be Trick Williams' first challenger, and he was gonna put him over and shit like that. So he still had work in NXT to be done, and then you take him away from that, and for him to be released like 4 months later.
But I think we also know there's certain vibes, like when certain people get caught up, I just kind of don't expect them to do much because I just feel like, all right, well, I don't see what they're going to really do with them. But there are certain people that do call up, like Baron Corbin. Like you couldn't have known Baron Corbin after he just revived himself in NXT. Like you had nothing to do with him.
We knew they were cooked when they split him and Braun Breaker up for no reason. Why would
I never believed
they split up on the brands though. Yeah, they split them up.
That's what I mean. They split them up on the brand. Like you couldn't put them on the same brand.
I'm not gonna lie. I never believed they were gonna come up together. I thought that was just for Braun. I thought genuinely that was just for Braun Breaker to do something until they were ready to move him up. I thought Baron Corbin was staying down. I didn't think Baron Corbin was going anywhere. Like I never believed that was gonna be a thing on the main roster. That was just some fun. That's like the Aleister Black and Ricochet thing. Like that tag team on the main roster lasted way longer than I thought that was going to
Can you believe they fought for 3 tag titles and
won
none of them? And won none of them. They won 0.
Boy,
for 3 tag titles and won none of them. They still.
I love them as a tag team.
And
I did love them as a team.
Whichever one was the last one they fought for, I genuinely thought that was the one they might win.
It was the Raw tag titles.
The Raw ones. I was like, they might win these ones.
Was it not the SmackDown ones at Mania?
Oh yeah, Mania. Yeah, they won. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were gonna win that one, but
then they fought for the Raw ones on
and won none.
Aleister Black and Ricochet. They fought for the NXT tag titles at the Takeover. And then on WrestleMania, they fought for the SmackDown ones. And then Raw after Mania, they fought for the Raw ones. It was like 2 straight fatal 4-ways.
That was at the time, though. I knew Vince. I had no faith, bro. I was like, anybody come from NXT, they cook, bro.
Hey, but he gave Ricochet a pretty good push from the jump.
2026, more than likely.
Well, for a little bit, yeah. But I mean,
and then he forgot about it. He was like,
they didn't really do much. So I mean, it kind of goes. I don't know. I feel like there are certain people that they bring up to the main roster. Like Baron Corbin could have been so good for the mid-card division right now. You know what I'm saying? The matches he could have had, like him and LA Knight could be having a feud right now. Right now as we speak, they could be having a little feud right now. Like the matches they could have together.
Great promo battle.
Baron Corbin don't even got to win. Put him over, but like it'll be a good feud.
What you mean? He's using Humberto. He got Humberto versus LA Knight. I'm up for squeezing Shinsuke in anywhere because I loved what they were doing with
Shinsuke would be cool
against Cody.
Yeah, I'm cool with shit, but nigga said Humberto, bro.
Yeah,
Humberto is outrageous.
I love Humberto and Garza as a
less
tag
charisma
team.
than my pinky toe, bro.
I love Humberto and Garza as a tag team. Like,
no, they're a good tag team.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Somebody said this in the chat. I want to see what you feel about that. I say it though. Triple H and Mania merging. What do you think?
That's crazy.
I mean, that's not
that's crazy.
I mean, just because he did his best work at that point,
yeah,
make him
it's not inaccurate, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean his best next year WrestleMania time this season is going to be crazy. We all know that.
Speaking of next WrestleMania,
that should be the best time.
I want to say something now while we're talking about next WrestleMania because you all laughed at me, but every week that this story advances, Kevin versus Cody at WrestleMania is looking like it might be at least possible.
Come on, Jade.
Come on,
Jade.
At least a triple threat.
Looking possible.
Come on,
Jade. We have a Kevin Owens win, right?
I'm not letting go of my hopes. I'm not letting go.
Kevin Owens win it, right?
I already told y'all what it's going to be.
Jade set it in motion.
Better not be Cody Roman Rock.
I came out here.
What's going to be
2 weeks ago and
Bro,
I said,
please don't put this in the air. Please.
Malik, he's still acting oblivious, bro.
No, I know that it's going to happen. I don't want it.
Y'all right now, division.
I don't want it.
That's fine.
They're gonna do Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens at the Saturday night.
Jay, don't worry. We can only dream that Kevin Owens body's going.
That'll be the first.
That's a good draw.
Hey, that'll be the first one. Yeah, that'll be the first one.
I'm not gonna lie. I see a triple threat.
And then they're gonna do the triple throat with Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, and then it's gonna stop.
No, at WrestleMania.
That'll be at Mania.
What you mean,
Bro,
bro? Kevin Owens
putting it in the air.
Mania is gonna be Cody
What
Rock.
you mean, bro? Kevin Owens winning the Rumble, bro. What you mean, bro?
Yeah, Kevin Owens is winning that Rumble.
Kevin
I'm
Owens.
not saying that. I'm not saying it's gonna be.
Because if we really
If he wins that Rumble,
if we keep it a buck, right?
Hey, just know this. If Roman Reigns wins that Rumble, you heard
Hell
it.
no.
it's the
You heard it
triple
right
threat.
here.
Hell
It's
You
the
know
triple
what's gonna
threat.
happen after that. You
Hell
know what's happening.
I'm not gonna lie. If
Whoa.
Roman Reigns wins the Rumble, hey, we gotta talk Triple H because that's crazy work.
You know what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What they gonna do?
That's crazy work.
You know what they gonna do?
No,
They gonna have Cody. They gonna have Roman win the
He's
Rumble.
Roman Reigns. He doesn't need to win the Rumble.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna have
If you're
Roman.
gonna
All
put
you
him in
gotta
a
do
title
is put
match,
his.
you
All
have
you
to.
gotta
I'm
do
gonna
is
tell you what's gonna happen. He gonna win the Rumble. You already know he's gonna challenge. Cody gonna come out. They're gonna have that stare off. And then the Rock's gonna come out. Gonna do that stare down. That stare down, just like he did at Bad Blood. He gonna look at them both, and then he gonna walk away. You already know the vision right there. You already know what is going to happen right then. That's what that's gonna happen.
Bro, let me tell you right now.
Now Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton would cook though. I mean, and Kevin, I'm not against it.
The reason why I hate it every time Malik says it is because I see it. I see.
You know, you can see it happening. You can see it happening. That's why.
But look. Here's the thing. Right? We look at the landscape. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it real. We know not a single world champion is losing that title before we get to Mania. Nobody is. So,
Fact.
real talk, unless you want to give Cena his little 3-time, Punk is finna fight Seth Rollins, so he not winning that thing.
Cena don't need that shit.
Tell him to spin a block on Gunther first, so we need to get
Other than Kevin Owens, who genuinely is winning that Royal Rumble? Real talk.
Reigns.
It's not Roman Reigns.
It's Roman Reigns.
Roman's very plausible.
Wait, are you saying you don't see the vision that Roman could win?
I'm not saying.
I 100% see it.
Because I feel like when we say we see the vision,
so
I feel like we're looking at it like if Vince is still booking. Because if Vince was booking, hell yeah, Roman number 30. Roman number 30 if Vince is still booking this thing.
Roman winning it makes perfect sense though. If the route they're gonna go is Cody Roman Rock, which God please no.
But
Roman, you can easily see it.
But the thing is though, even if you want to say Roman is gonna face Cody for that title, he doesn't need the Rumble win to do it. He can just say,
yes,
I'm Roman.
Yes, he does.
I don't think he does.
Yes, you do.
I don't think he does. It's Roman Reigns.
It's WrestleMania.
No.
You either win the
And
Rumble
it's
or
Roman
you win the
Reigns.
chamber.
And it's Roman Reigns.
There are few
I disagree.
that are bigger than the
bro.
Royal
He's not
Rumble.
going to compete.
Roman Reigns,
Ain't doing
John
that.
Cena.
So he better
And
win
he
the
can
Rumble.
just say, I want the match. Bro, it's Roman Reigns.
No, he
Bro.
doesn't
He
need-
can
I mean,
just say,
I will say,
Wait. Hold on.
it's Roman Reigns. Bro.
Roman Reigns, we even though you could say we can nitpick, but we can all agree Roman Reigns and The Rock are pretty much, if not equals, they're right next to each other, right? We can pretty much say star power.
Yeah.
The Rock literally didn't even enter the match, and he was about to get a title match for that thing.
That's very big difference.
Roman Reigns doesn't need to win the Rumble.
I mean, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, bro. Either way, literally either way, it's just Roman's taking up a spot either way. It doesn't even matter if he wins the Rumble or not. He's in a spot where we believe someone else should be in. It doesn't fucking matter if he wins the Rumble or the Chamber or just walks up and says, "Give me a match," and Cody says, "Okay, let's do it again." It doesn't matter, bro. It literally doesn't matter because he's in a spot that somebody else should be in. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't even fucking matter.
My problem is that fuck, and I've said that I really, 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 in my heart of hearts, believe that Roman versus Rock does not need a title stipulation at all. At all. It does not need a title stipulation.
It will.
So
it never.
We're not talking about that match. We're talking about Cody being involved.
But Cody doesn't need to be involved. I don't understand
that. We're talking about
he should.
I still think they need to do Cody versus Rock at Royal Rumble. Get that shit out of the way. I don't need that at WrestleMania. I don't need that in my life. I just so that's the hope that I'm hanging on to. But the only thing that gives me cause for pause is that if you are going to give Roman another Royal Rumble win, this is the year to do it, because I believe that this is his last full-time year. I think after WrestleMania, he goes completely part-time. And if his momentum holds up, he's never going to be as popular as he is right now. So for a multitude of reasons, if you're going to give Roman another Royal Rumble win, this is the year to do it. That's the only thing that gives me cause for pause. But I firmly believe that Cody doesn't need to be in the middle of that we didn't wait all this time for Roman versus Rock versus Cody. We waited all this time for Roman versus Rock. That is going to sell WrestleMania like fucking hotcakes with or without a title being involved. the options with or without Kevin Owens are just so much better if Cody is, because Cody versus Punk is right there, which will be 10 times better, and you still get Roman versus Rock. Just throwing Cody in the middle of that feels so forced when you could just get Cody's part of it out of the way before WrestleMania ever shows up and then do something else at Mania. It just feels forced. I don't like it.
And to add on to that, the reason why I do not think I believe Rock is probably still gonna get that singles match. I just Rumble is where I've pretty much always saw it happening, so that's where I'm still gonna think it's gonna happen. But even then,
I hope so.
That means let's just put this out there. That means for 1, 2, 3, 4. So about for 7 months of this 365, Cody Rhodes is feuding with some inkling of the Bloodline. And that's not even counting before he won the title. That's after. 7 months of a 365 feuding with either Solo or the Bloodline or Roman or Rock, or because that's what he's going to do after the Rumble. Only thing he's going to do between the Rumble and then is feud with the Bloodline if they do this. That's 7 months of a year-long reign. The only thing he did before that was AJ Styles in a one-off, Logan Paul, and Kevin Owens in a one-off. That's horrible. We don't need to do that. That is atrocious. That is literally damn near I would almost call it the waste of his title win. If all he did for 7 months of this 365 is feud with the Bloodline. Yes, have your Rock match. Get it out the way. I'm cool with that. That's a great attraction for Indianapolis. Have Rock versus Cody main event. We know what the deal is. That needs to set up Rock Roman. That needs to set up Rock Roman.
Agree.
That's exactly
because
what it needs to do.
not only is Rock Roman going to sell it to the casuals, but to the people who watch every week like us. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm getting Cody Bloodline fatigue at this point. I do not need Cody doing any more Bloodline shit. I'm done with it.
Jay, do you know how scared I was on SmackDown that Sammy was gonna go ask Cody to be the fucking
right?
Oh,
you know how scared I was. Like, bro, the whole time he's like, "Oh, I think I got somebody." The whole time I'm like, "Please don't be Cody.
Yeah,
please don't ask Cody. Please don't ask Cody. Please don't ask this nigga."
I can't wait till Kevin Owens and Sami
This is
Zayn
the
face
same man.
off.
This is the same man who pinned Solo Sikoa clean in a steel cage. Told Roman Reigns, "I'm not helping you. I'm done with you." One little
Still
minute
helps him.
Still helps him.
So, well,
yeah. Which, by the way, that wouldn't even be a problem if they didn't try to squeeze in a fifth guy, which totally wasn't needed. Triple H. Back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, definitely not needed.
This is what cue behind the scenes. This is what queued up this whole little conversation today. Oh my God, squeezing a fifth man into War Games where the Bloodline is involved is the worst idea I have ever seen. Not to mention that they put Bronson Reed in place first and telegraphed that Seth Rollins, a man who gave up his entire body not 8 months ago at WrestleMania to spite Roman Reigns, wore a shield getup to get in Roman's head, spite him, and cost him everything. And now, just because you put Big Bronson Reed on the other side, oh, you know what? Actually, everything's fine then. No! This whole thing is stupid. Adding a fifth member, even if it's traditionally done with 5 guys, from a story perspective,
which is not,
and booking.
If you're being real,
but from a story, from a booking perspective, putting a fifth guy on these teams when they literally just showed on SmackDown that if you put these 8 guys in a ring and have them go nuts, the crowd's going to love it. And now it just feels like you're trying to squeeze more juice into it, and it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. And Seth being involved with Roman after less than a year, like if you wanted to do a quasi-Shield reunion in like another year after that's passed or whatever, and do a slow build with Seth and Roman towards them getting over their problems, that's one thing. But for less than a year after Seth Rollins literally destroyed his body over the course of 2 nights at WrestleMania, just to spite Roman Reigns, for me to now have to suspend my disbelief of everything I've seen and see that Seth Rollins is going to be teaming with Roman Reigns, I can't buy it. And it honestly, I'm less excited about watching it than I was before. I hate it.
So, Jade, I agree with because I was like, okay, OG Bloodline, we're here. They said we needed a fifth member. I'm like, y'all ain't debuted nobody else. Who else in y'all family y'all gonna get? Right. That's what I was thinking when they first said it. I'm like,
right.
So unless you're getting Zilla and whoever, this makes zero sense. Now, my only thing that I will say, I do not disagree that the decision is bad. My logic, watching it unfold, if you're going to make a bad decision, at least make it compelling. At least tell the good story, right? I'm not going to lie. Bronson Reed joining Solo and them, I was hooked. I was like, okay, y'all brought me back in. I can get with this because Bronson Reed is Sam Owen, right? Even though he's from Australia, he is Sam Owen. And the way he's been presented, wow, I didn't think that bloodline could get any more dangerous. Now you just added Bronson Reed. So they hooked me in. I will give them that credit. I think there is a story to be told because technically Roman is still on this whole redemption type thing. Even though technically, again, justified heels, he should not feel bad about Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is the one who started all of this. Nevertheless,
Thank you.
Nevertheless, if they're gonna tell this whole Roman on redemption, I mean, they've been saying, "Hey, brothers fight. We're still brothers." At the end of the day, I'm cool with the story. I'm at least they're telling a good story behind it. It's still a dumb decision. I don't think they needed a fifth man. They could have just brawled for the next 3 weeks, and we would have been lit. And I still think we need to introduce Paul Heyman, which I do like that little tidbit at the end.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
However, if they're gonna make a bad decision, at least give me a good story with it. And the bad decision came before the good story. It's not like they told us this great story and then bad decision right after.
Capped it with a bad decision.
Yeah, that would have hampered it. Whereas at least a bad decision, you now have a chance to make up for it with good story. And I'm not gonna lie, because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I thought like them talking to Seth was like, okay, that's just a who's it gonna be?
A teaser, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bronson Reed showed up. I'm like, oh, I actually like that a lot. That's good. Kind of tells me Seth is joining. But hey, we still got 2 weeks before Survivor Series? Who knows? Maybe Seth doesn't join. Who knows? Maybe it's Braun Strowman.
Or the Braun Breaker. There's
I think there's different.
I don't think Braun's.
Yeah,
there's different.
Strowman is crazy.
There's different ways I've been looking at this. I was like everybody when they said the 5-on-5. I'm like, we don't need the 5-on-5. Like, it's 4-on-4. It's right there. It's a layup. Like, all they need to do is just have the 4-on-4. But if there's one thing I learned about the Bloodline storyline is that I can never discredit it when I discredit it because there's so many times I thought the storyline wasn't going to make sense and it was going in a bad direction, and they always found a way to make it make sense and to make it good. So maybe there's something out of this we don't know yet. Maybe Seth Rollins is going to stomp Roman's head in the cage and and cost him everything again. Like, to just make sure he doesn't win the Ulafal and all that back. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe Sami Zayn is turning. Maybe there's something happening that we don't know about yet. There's different aspects. I think people got to look at it too. Like, the Bloodline storyline has become pure storytelling where I feel like they just don't do anything without it make sense in the end. So the conclusion of War Games, we don't know yet, and we don't know how the story is going to be told. Like, I look at it as they're going to force Roman to accept Seth and kind of forgive him because Jey Uso and Sami had to forgive Roman to join him back. So it's like, okay,
I don't think it's going to forgive him. He's not going to. There's no way Roman just forgives Seth like that.
No,
he's not
it's a part of the story aspect. It's a part of the story aspect. They're going to tell. Like,
he's done it twice.
Yes, we know he may not want to, but they're going to tell him you have to because we need him. We forgave you, and we didn't have to come back to help you, but we did. You need to let it go.
He'll tolerate Seth. Yeah. He'll tolerate Seth. He's not going to.
You need to let it go.
He literally ended his title run. If you look at it, Seth is literally the reason why Solo is the tribal chief right now.
Right.
Roman will tolerate Seth at absolute most. He will tolerate him.
Seth is literally the reason Roman's the way he is. it all starts from June 2nd,
from the Shield turn.
2014.
Yeah, from the Shield turn. And I think
All starts from there.
Oh my God.
They're going to use that aspect of you have to let Seth Rollins come in and do it, because when you guys are together, you guys can work really well together. We've seen that in the past.
Yep.
We forgave you and we came back when we didn't have to. We didn't have to come back to the Bloodline and do all this. We didn't have to come out and be a part of this shit. Like, we did it because we wanted to obviously solve our issues with this, and we need to do this together. Now, Roman isn't going to fully forgive Seth, but I think that's going to lead to something where, like I said, he's going to tolerate him, and it could lead to maybe them crashing out in the War Games. Maybe it shows that a bigger story leading for Seth and Roman down the future. You know,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. G's having an epiphany down there. Let me just say this, because this is what I'm picturing, and this is what drives me nuts. Because you guys all watch basketball, so. Can you imagine? Because Malik just said it. They had a layup. It was easy. Just do it, and it's going to be great. Yeah. If you imagine if LeBron James was dribbling down the lane with a wide open layup with 30 seconds to go in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and then he turns around and passes it, and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, but the Lakers play calling has always been great." No, just make the goddamn layup.
We've seen this before.
See the play that you're going to run.
We've seen this before. The Super Bowl. Seahawks.
Shut up! Don't remind me. God damn it.
We already seen this before.
No.
Triple H is passing it on the yard line.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Did you have to use that one? Did you have to use that?
Yeah, I had to.
Now,
hold on. We saw it in the game 1 before, bro. J.R. Smith got a rebound around the other way, bro.
Just make the obvious layup.
My point is,
the point is though, Triple H though, and they haven't fumbled yet. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh! You know what I just thought about though? Oh my God!
What's your epiphany, G?
I could totally see them doing this. What if that's the catalyst to get a Seth Roman match at Mania? Because he's the one that started.
I'm good with it.
And then because if we get Roman Seth at Mania, we're gonna get Cody Rock, and I don't want it.
Oh, and that means you gotta wait another year for Rock and Roll.
You just ruined my day. You just ruined my day.
I mean, what if they use this? It's not happening next year.
Y'all named 3 things to ruin my day.
This as the catalyst? Because we're all right, and I think they know this too. Seth Rollins is the reason Roman is the way he is. Seth Rollins is the reason. He's the key. He's
the reason for everything. He's the reason why everything fell apart.
Bro, exactly.
And just imagine if he cost Roman the everything again. Did it again. Stabbed him in the back again. This one Roman had to just tolerate him a little bit again. He let his guard down, let his shield down. It cost him everything again.
Bro, if Seth Rollins is the one who gets pinned,
or Seth can get pinned.
If Seth Rollins is the one who gets pinned,
Seth could take the pin.
I mean,
it's hell a great story, but that means we're gonna get Cody Rock, and I don't want them to do it.
Or if Roman is able to stop Seth from getting hit with a tsunami, but he watches it happen and then spears Bronson Reed, and then Roman gets the pin, and then afterwards Seth is like, "Yo, what the fuck? You I came here to help you. You piece of shit." There's a lot of. I'm not saying that there aren't good things that could come out of this.
No,
I'm just saying it wasn't needed. It was great without it.
There's different things they could do to it. Maybe Roman could hit Seth with a spear by accident. That could lead to a crash.
Y'all missing the fun, bro. Seth could pull. He could be a troll for real. Watch Seth come down in that shield attire, bro. I got you, Roman. I got you, bro.
He good. I mean,
as long as I get a
come down in the best of shit.
There's different angles.
Nah, I'm Roman. I'm slapping that nigga. I don't care, bro.
There's different angles I think there could lead to it. Because, like I said, at this stage with the bloodline stuff, I don't think they're not telling anything that doesn't make sense within the story aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like Roman Reigns, when he loses, has purpose. He lost to Solo. Okay, now we got a bigger picture. We got to fight in War Games. Like, this all has to culminate in something bigger. Now, yes, the 4-on-4 was a layup. That would have just made perfect sense. But maybe they're thinking like, okay, if we add Seth and Bronson, maybe there's different layers that we can add to it. Like you said, Seth crashing out. Maybe he turns on him and make sure Roman doesn't get the Ula follow back, because maybe Seth doesn't want Roman to have that power. Maybe he doesn't want Roman Reigns to be in that position again. We saw what it was like during WrestleMania. He tried to take it away from him because he felt the bloodline came out of his own mouth. They're ruining the WWE. You know what I mean? So maybe he feels like, if there's going to be a bloodline, I'd much rather have it be this one than that one, because that one was out of control. You know what I mean? So there's different things that can happen.
Well, and this will lead into the question that I want to ask the panel. Because I think we all pretty much assume we getting Punk Rollins. Somebody, even though you don't have to, in their mind, somebody's got to be the heel. We want them to boo somebody. What better way to turn Seth Rollins heel than being the one to cost Roman his Ulafala? Which is then going to lead into my question that I wanted to ask y'all. Who's winning this match? Because before I thought it was a layup OG Bloodline.
And you know what? That could go back around. That could go back around to let's say
it's new Bloodline.
Let's say Seth cost Roman the Ulafala. What if Roman cost Seth his match against Punk? Because we know how he hates CM Punk. And if he costs his match against CM Punk, that's like, oh, okay. Now it's personal levels because the Ulafala meant a lot to Roman Reigns, but we know how much Seth Rollins despised CM Punk. And can you imagine if Roman was to get his get back? All right, we'll make sure you lose to that guy. Because I know you ain't gonna be able to stand it if you lose to that guy, even though Punk doesn't need it. But I mean, there's different avenues they could go to it. So, like I said, I thought it was a layup too. Like New Bloodline probably. I would still probably say New Bloodline, but if they wanted
before, if it would have been 4-on-4, I would have thought the OG because I thought we were setting up.
No, I mean New Blood. I'm sorry, OG Bloodline.
Yeah, that's what I thought before. I thought when it was 4-on-4, I was like, oh, OG Bloodline's gonna win. We're gonna set up Roman solo 1v1, and then we'll figure it out from there.
If it was 4-on-4, I would say the OG Bloodline. But now that's 5 because I was with you, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, Bronson Reed kind of nice little fit over there. I'm like,
he does fit really well.
Bro,
if we didn't know Bronson Reed. Like if he just came from the Indies or something, like that was his debut, they could have literally said he was part of the family, and I'd have believed it. I'm like, oh, he's related to them.
Yeah,
like, doesn't like.
I don't have a problem with Bronson Reed's part of it. I just wish it didn't lead to the Seth part of it because to me, there's just no way to make that make sense. But one thing I know, or at least I'm mildly confident, I will say that we're going to get is, regardless of who wins, I think we're going to get a moment where just everybody is down, and then I think The Rock's music's going to hit, and he's going to scroll down. And he's going to tell the ref, open that goddamn cage or you're fired. He's going to pull his big dog shit. And then he's going to get in the ring and there's going to be the big moment of, oh, whose side is he on? And then I think The Rock will end up being on Solo's side. Maybe Seth takes the rock bottom at that
point. I think he's a mastermind behind all this.
Yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead. You can respond, Lewis, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think The Rock's going to be heavily involved in the finish.
No, I'm just letting y'all talk.
Yeah, I mean, there's different factors. Okay, so they tease him calling the wise man, though, right? Obviously, we're filming the Seth, but what if he's asking Paul to get somebody else? What if it's CM Punk or somebody? Like Paul Heyman got connections. Like, bro, we need a 5th member. Can you help us out? Like,
it's not the other Paul Heyman guy. It's not him.
Maybe Punk or somebody else.
Just so we can stop that. It's not him. It's not him. We're dead and all that.
You know what I do like though is the little details you have to pay attention to because people are assuming that Paul Heyman is not picking up, but if we remember, Solo broke that motherfucker's phone, so that's why he doesn't have access to Roman, and Roman doesn't have access to him. So Solo really planted this shit like way ahead.
He knew which phone to crush too because he got one for Roman, one for Rock, so he knew which one to break.
Yeah, some people
think shit is stupid to me. Just do a group FaceTime, gang.
That's what I'm saying. You know Rock's busy, so he's probably
some people think that Heyman's gonna turn and go with Rock too. So what if Survivor Series ends and
hell no.
Rock becomes a Paul Heyman guy.
That's terrible. That is awful. Who's saying that? That is terrible.
I don't know about terrible.
No, it's terrible.
Paul Heyman aligning himself with The Rock is terrible.
Yeah,
The Rock does not like Paul Heyman.
And when he went
after all they've been through, Rock tolerated him because of the bloodline. Rock is not
literally.
And
he literally is. He's bro. Yeah, Brock beat him for the title. He feuded with CM Punk. He's not fucking with Paul Heyman outside the bloodline, like because he tolerated him because it was Roman Reigns. They did not fuck each other.
I mean, then again, Roman and Paul went through a lot before that. So I mean,
yeah, that was a long time ago. Like,
but
Paul Heyman's too loyal to Roman Reigns to go right.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think this is dumb. Like, just like when he.
No, I agree. I think he is too.
When he went back to Brock Lesnar, I always thought that was stupid.
It was all like a plan. It's like all
it was
planned.
A plan for internal Lesnar. That was the
plan. Well, no, but they said, but even in storyline. It wasn't
too complicated.
He just took the second opportunity or something. I don't know, but
yeah, because Roman
too complicated.
But to Triple H's credit, one thing that I think he's really good at is making us really question his plan. Like, I genuinely believe he does a really good job of making us question for the first time in a couple of years what the internet is saying really question it. Like, man, I actually got to watch to figure out. I can't just look at Sean Ross Sapp or what any of the other guys report to know what's going to happen. I actually got to lock in and pay attention because I don't know till I get there. And that's one thing I think he's really, really good at because we talk about all these possible things when really the plan could be here. This was all just throws off. What's that phrase? Is it called like a red herring or something?
Yeah, red herring. Red herring, smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Yeah, he throws all that stuff to get us to be like, oh, do we need to look over here? Do we look over here? And really the plan was.
That's what the Bloodline story does. He's been doing it for years, you know what I'm saying? It's been doing it all year, bro. Like we all think it's gonna go a different direction, and then sometimes it seems very simple. And then they may go that simple route, but then they may go a different direction where it's like, oh, okay, you know, I can see that now. Maybe that's what I think they're trying to do here. Like they're making it a little bit more difficult to us right now because we haven't seen the outcome, but maybe after Survivor Series, our feelings will be a little bit different, you know, based off of what we see. But when you do stuff like this, like when you take risk like this, it has to be something that's, you know, going to have a big reward at the end, like something that's really going to make sense because otherwise we're going to look back on this and be like, bro, you messed us up. You could have just did the 4-on-4. Like there was no 5-on-5.
But also notice what you just said. We low-key say that damn near every time. Oh, well, once we see the end of SummerSlam, we'll know what direction they're going. Oh, once we see the end of this, we know what direction. And we've technically been saying that damn near every time, and we still don't know. Like, for a while, we thought, all right, Rock Roman, we know that's the plan. Then we had, it might be the triple threat. Now, Solo, who we thought was cooked before he pinned Roman Reigns, now pinned Roman Reigns, and it's like, well, do they win the War Games match? Does he win the one-on-one match with Roman? Do they actually let him keep the Ula follow? And then here's the other thing, too. If Solo actually does everything I just said, how do you not give him the world title after that? Nigga just pinned Roman Reigns twice and is now the true tribal chief. How doesn't he go after the title and win it this time, even though I'm still a fan for Kevin doing it? Relax. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that you look at. All of these things can change. We've been, if you thought 2 months ago we was going to be talking about Solo possibly being the one to beat Roman, being a threat, and you know, being the winner out of the War Games match, I would have said you crazy as hell. Old boy lost clean in the steel cage match. Now, and mind you, he got pinned by Roman the first time in the tag match. Like literally got pinned the first time. So I was like, dang, you lost to Cody clean and you got pinned. Like, I get you want to protect the Lord Jacob, but Solo ain't had no problem taking them pins when he was the enforcer. And Solo, I think up until after John Cena, always looked like a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Until after John Cena, and then it was like, all right, you're kind of losing your
But even in that one night, you know, once he pinned Roman Reigns, they were able to bring it back up just because of what Roman means. You know what I mean? So even just that one time, they were like, oh, Solo's back again. Like, he's back up there again. Even at the last weeks, Roman Reigns ain't been able to get the advantage. You know what I'm saying? Every week he getting beat down. You know what I'm saying? By the new bloodline. So they making him look credible. It's just this War Games match has a lot to it. If the new bloodline wins, then that tells me Solo's going to be new tribal chief. And like you said, where do you go from there? How can Solo not move up from there? But there's already other plans that we see just ahead of that where Solo doesn't fit Rock, Roman, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens if they go that direction. If they lose to, where do you go from there? Like, if they lose, like...
I think as long as you give Tongaloa the pin, like, let him, like, get pinned, because it's Tongaloa, you can still do the one-on-one match.
He's got the most aura there.
Yeah, all right. He could do the one-on-one match with Roman.
Tonga aura.
And honestly, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, because it's weird, right? Because another thing, I can't see The Rock acknowledging Solo as his tribal chief. Something just doesn't feel right about that. And then, the next thing is Solo in storyline. It drives me crazy because in storyline, Solo should be at the top of the heat because when Roman was the tribal chief, he was the top of the heat. But there's just Solo doesn't feel it. If you put him in the ring with guys like Orton and Cody and Roman, who's the odd man out? Solo. He doesn't feel like he has the same aura as those other guys. Now, I will say, I'm glad somebody pulled Solo into a room over the last few weeks and said, hey, Solo, you know you're allowed to show some fucking personality out there, right? Because something has clicked with Solo in the past month. He's so much more entertaining.
He did that segment with Jay. He was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that, and then the way he was. What did he say to Motor City Machine Guns. He's
Any
like,
place, anytime.
Anytime. Yeah. So fucking good. He looks a lot better in the last month than he did look, but aura-wise, he doesn't. When you're trying to project out towards WrestleMania, it's so hard to know where Solo fits into that because he seemed like he's a level below these other guys.
You got to look at too, like he was so used to playing a guy who didn't have to speak much. All he had to do was just be the enforcer, just be a dangerous threat. He didn't have to do. Yeah. He had the easiest job in WWE for a year and a half, where he just literally was a part of the best story, and just had to be the bodyguard, where he just had to be a serious threat and not break character. Just make sure you go out there and don't smile, don't break character, just be the tough guy. He did that for so long, so. Once he started to speak, people felt it was weird. Like, oh, he talks like he can speak like, and then now he's trying to develop personality where he's different now. You know,
like when Sammy kicked Roman in the head, he like, ha ha ha! Look what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he? What was it? Right after he spiked Roman and he went, motherfucker! He just screamed motherfucker to the ceiling.
So he's got personality. He wasn't able to show it for so long.
And I think he got so caught up with trying to be a version of Roman, where now it just feels like he's being a version of Solo.
He feels more like the what did he call himself on NXT when he was
street champion,
street fighter?
Yeah, he feels more like the street champion, just at an evolved state. So it feels better.
Like he feels more mob boss right now.
Yeah,
like as opposed to because Roman was more like a gaslighter type of tribal chief.
Right, yeah.
Where Solo was just kind of like, I don't need to gaslight these niggas.
Right, no, I'm the boss. Get behind me.
Yes, they can love me.
Oh my gosh. Also, I do love that they're doing this very, very like specific and not a lot, because my goodness, that Jacob Fatu promo where he was talking to Roman Reigns.
Let me lace you up real quick, stupid.
Bro, I was like, oh my god.
Little by little. They're doing it.
Oh my god.
Little by little.
I can't wait until they bring back his catchphrase. You think you gonna dog walk my ass? I can't wait. He said you not Godzilla or King Kong because
I'm both.
Damn.
And he was like, and at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, talk your shit, nigga.
Talk your shit. Hey, once they let him off
that match. The little teasers of that Jacob and Roman match,
bro. When they get him, bro, when they take him off that leash, bro.
They know what they're doing, bro. They know what they're doing, bro.
When they take him off that leash, bro,
I wouldn't mind if that's a Rumble match.
Bro, Jacob versus Jay.
Crazy.
They had him going crazy for Jacob versus Seth. Bro, Jacob versus Braun Breaker. The crowd ate that up.
Oh, they ate that up.
I was like,
when you got two dominant forces and they collide, that's something you always want to see. You know what I mean? That's something like when you see them together in the ring, and you can feel that energy because they're two dominant forces. You know what I mean? So I like the teases they do with him. Like I like the tease with Roman and stuff like that. So the one thing that also is particular about Roman is that they're showing with his character, like he didn't really seem too apologetic, bro. Like he never apologized to Jay, Sammy. He never said, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry." Like they back with him because there's a bigger purpose. But like
that's why I think they're gonna lose.
Yeah, they're not really showing that Roman is. He's not really showing that he cares about other people. Like he's still showing that he kind of cares about himself a little bit. Like he hasn't come out and said, "Bro, my bad, dog." You feel me? Like I was tripping. Like I'm sorry, bro. Like
that would work anyway, bro.
But like at least Jay though, bro. Like he did Jay crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, even though I feel like. My bad, bro. I was tripping, bro. Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
Tripping for 3 years?
Yeah, right. 3 years, bro. All right, bro. Okay, bro.
Because Jay's family and they've known each other since they were like literally since they were birthed. You know what I'm saying? Like kids, like all you really gotta do is say to blood, Jay, bro, my bad, bro. Like
that's why I feel like
my bad is crazy, bro. My cousin abused me for 3 years and said my bad.
I did you wrong because they told.
I ain't mean all that.
They told stories about when they were kids. Like Roman was like the.
I ain't mean all that, bro.
So he's kind of always been that way, you know, with like in the family. So it's like because he's literally blood, I feel like it wouldn't take much for them to really kind of apologize, you know.
I feel like for cousins,
hasn't said it though. Like deep down,
for your brother, for your twin brother, that's easy. Your twin brother, like, but your cousin, I feel like it's gonna take a look. My bad, bro. I'd be like, nah.
But that's why
I'm going back.
You know what Jay should have said to Roman? So you think after these past 3 years, I was gonna let you dog walk my ass? I'll be
chill.
Nah, but that's why I think Seth Rollins. That's why I think Seth Rollins, to your point, Malik, is such the key, because I feel like the reason he's not apologetic and the reason he doesn't really want to seem too regretful and still doesn't care is because, bro, like that whole period that everybody hates a Roman wouldn't have happened if Seth did it in kayfabe. Wouldn't have happened if Seth doesn't break up the Shield. He's not getting booed when The Rock is holding up his hand winning the Rumble. He's not getting booed when Brock Lesnar and that fake blood pinned Roman Reigns after like 10 F5s. He's not getting booed when he comes
that was hard
back.
way. That was hard way, bro. That was hard way. That was hard way.
Oh yeah, that was real blood. That was real blood.
That was real blood.
That was real blood?
Brock, yeah, no, maybe it was. You can blood. You can blade at that time.
Okay, so no, I thought like
the fake blood was when Triple H hit his head on the announcements. That was
that was a capsule. Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Even though we're saying it's hard way, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it was so much. It just looked like
it was a lot. It was
so much. It was like it looked fake
to the temple. Yeah, that shit's gonna cut you, bro.
But even then, like all that doesn't happen if Seth doesn't do what he does. Right. And like that was the catalyst for everything. Like, bro, this man got booed after coming back from cancer. Like he had them first couple of months where everybody was cool, and then they went back to booing this nigga.
That's why I think they're going in the direction of like Seth did you dirty, but Roman also did the bloodline dirty too. So it goes both hands. Like, bro, we didn't have to come back to this, bro. Like Jay was doing fine by himself. Sami Zayn driving by himself. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have to come back. But if we're gonna come back together, we're gonna need somebody else, and there's no better guy right now than him. So you may have to like it, but we need you to make it work. And I think that's how they're gonna that shield. Which in reality could, like I said, that could implode. Like that also could lead to stuff with the blood, like Roman trusting the bloodline to let Seth in. Seth could implode everything, and then he gets mad at them. I trusted y'all, bro. I listened to y'all. Y'all got in my head, and then they messed everything up. I knew I couldn't trust him. I shouldn't have trusted him. Shouldn't let him in. That could lead to a lot of different things. So I don't know.
And again, if this is intentional, I'm going to give Triple H the credit for it. If it's not, and it's just an accident, then so be it. All of this can also feed into Kevin Owens, justifying him even more. Seth Rollins, are you serious? You did all this to
Sami Zayn,
and you're gonna join him? And yet y'all are calling me the bad guy? Yeah, no. The bloodline is literally the bro.
Sounds like more reasons I love it. Kevin Owens should beat Cody Rhodes. Crazy.
Exactly.
That powerbomb on the apron to Sami Zayn is,
and he should honestly
gonna hit like crack, Mo.
A part of me thought that Kevin Owens might show up in this War Games match and cost these niggas. A part of me thought that for a little bit, but maybe not anymore. But a part of me thought it for a little bit.
I can see maybe he takes somebody out before the match. You know what I'm saying? Backstage, Sami Zayn back there all knocked out or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, low key, since you brought it up, I low-key thought somebody was going to get taken out, and then we was going to get The Rock. And that's how we was going to introduce him into that. That's what I low-key thought, too. I know Lewis hate that, probably. I get you. But
I can't see Rock bro. I can't see that.
No, he'd show up, like, at the end. He'd pull a
Randy Orton. At the end, but even then,
he would literally pull a Randy Orton, show up at
the last. He'd do, like, 2 moves. He'd do a rock bottom, people's able, and...
I feel like if he shows up, it's gonna be what Jay said. It'll be at the end of the show, and he'll come out, or he'll come in during the match and make sure whoever he wants to win wins that way.
He's gonna come out and take his stupid sunglasses off because we're inside, right, Dave?
We're inside.
That stupid made-up belt that he awarded
Von Wagner, man. I miss Von Wagner, bro. Von Wagner's a 5th man. I don't care. He's a 5th man. Make Von Wagner.
Bring back Vonnie Wags.
Von Wagner.
Take those.
You got Von Wagner fans in here.
Oh, Von Wagner. He got entertaining at the end of his career, bro. He got entertaining.
Come on, bro.
How dare you disrespect Von Wagner right now?
Entertaining as a brick.
What you mean? What?
Nah.
Take those stupid sunglasses off.
He got better. He got better. I will say when they first
come Tuesday.
When they
first brought him to TV, yes, he was dry as
we can tell that was a Vince decision.
He was dry as a desert, bro. He had no.
They called him a future WrestleMania main event.
Once he invented the table gimmick and stuff, and
that table gimmick
was pretty funny.
Elite. He was elite.
For him and Braun,
you're gonna get
kill each other every week.
Elite. Okay.
Bro, that gimmick was elite, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
That gimmick was over as hell.
The table gimmick was funny. It was
all he had to do was put somebody through a fucking table every week. Hell yeah!
He's a solo Dudley boy.
Every time Von Wagner or Omos comes up on the show, I question our own credibility.
Oh, no. Omos, I
get you.
Omos. Von Wagner.
Omos is
but you like Von Wagner.
No. You know
That's
what's
gotta be racially. This is racially motivated.
Why can't we have
G,
them in a tag
this is
team?
racially motivated.
Mo,
Why
you're
can't we
doing
have
the
them in a
same
tag
thing.
team?
You cake
Why
for
can't we have them in a
Omos, but
tag
hate
team?
for
I'm gonna
Wagner.
do it, bro. Why not? I don't see
Why
why
can't
not.
we? Why can't we have them in a tag team?
I'm so mad.
Because Omos' back don't hurt from carrying.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
What
gonna
you
lie.
mean?
I'm not gonna lie. Von Wagner on the main roster right now. Hey, he be. Hey man, come Tuesday or come Monday.
I'm not gonna lie.
Come Monday,
Come
come
Monday.
Friday.
Come
You better not
Saturday.
say it.
Imagine him talking to LA Knight. Talk about LA Knight. Come Friday, you're gonna get tabled.
LA Knight would tear that nigga to shreds.
Might as well get Eli Cottonwood in that motherfucker.
Whoa, that's not.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Might as well.
Takeaway is right.
Hey,
Come on, dog. That's way too much.
Side note, and I hope me bringing up
That's
his
so
name
crazy.
doesn't. I hope he didn't do anything because I haven't heard from him in so long. Anybody know how that nigga Jordan Miles is doing? Hope he didn't do anything.
He's on the Indies. And that.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about ACH? You talking about ACH?
Yeah, ACH. Yeah, what
Yeah,
he
he on the
doing?
Indies. He on the Indies.
Oh, okay.
Go ACH, go.
He on the Indies.
That
I'm
was
not
a
gonna lie.
messy
I'm not gonna lie.
situation.
I still hate that he won that breakout tournament. I still
loved
don't
it.
think he deserved it.
Nah, he was
They
the most
should've
over guy in that tournament at the time.
No, he
was
wasn't.
way
No,
more
he
over.
wasn't.
Yes,
It was Garza. It was Garza.
Well, Garza was
Garza?
the whole point was to face Adam Cole. Garza was already in the cruiserweight title picture at that point.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but I honestly don't think he should have won. I don't care. I think Garza could have held on to it for a minute and faced like Keith Lee after Keith Lee.
He had a great match again. No, the breakout tournament was just you're facing Adam Cole. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like
It wasn't like how Carmelo Hayes won it.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, then I guess, but yeah,
Different.
I was a big fan of Garza.
Garza won the cruiserweight title like 3 months after that, so yeah.
Yeah, and then lost it relatively quickly.
Who the fuck he lose it to? Leo Rush.
Leo Rush.
And then he dropped him. Then he got it back.
Yeah, I forgot.
I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. But yeah,
So what? Anything else y'all don't like right now? That's going on?
Get the. Why the fuck are the tag titles still here? Get them bitch ass fucking women's tag titles.
The women's what? Yeah, bro. Nah, bro. See, this is why. This is like we already said it on the show before. I was like, "What midcard title? Great, but you either got to add more people, like add more women, or you got to take them tag team titles away, bro. Like you're gonna get to the point because look, this is we saw it in 2019 with the women's tag team titles. You're like, oh, great, this is great, finally. But then like a month later, like after Mania, they ain't mean shit. So because the women's division is not as deep, it's not deep enough to have 2 world titles, a tag team title, and a mid-card title. Even if you spread it across both shows, it is not deep enough. Yeah. I feel like they should have waited till after they caught up. Yeah. Because you have at least 6 women in NXT who you can call up and maybe not right now, but after Mania, you have at least 6 women who are ready to come to the main roster and add to that mid-card division. Because if you're going to pull, if that finals is your women's tag team champions, throw away the belts. Throw away the entire belts. Throw it all away. That's great. If Jay's the first champion, that would be great. That'd be like on paper, that seems like a fantastic idea. But your women's tag team champions are in a mid-card championship tournament. Yeah, how does that make sense?
So I thought I was going to be the unpopular. Let me just say this. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate that.
It's too soon.
Introducing it at all, in my opinion, with the state that the women's division is in now, is admitting that you don't know how to book women. You're admitting that you don't know how to book women. Secondly, why is it? Oh my God! Listen, inclusion is great. The women on WWE for the past 5-6 years have cooked. They deserve every bit of praise they are getting.
Facts.
If you are going to give them their own championship, give them their own goddamn championship. Don't put the United States Championship in a microwave and let it shrink and then present that as your women's mid-card championship. The same thing they fucking did when they did the right thing by getting rid of the Raw and SmackDown titles, right? But all you did was stick the World Heavyweight and Universal Championships in a microwave for 10 minutes, let them shrink, and then say, oh, look, we gave you your own titles. They feel like hand-me-downs. It makes the women's division feel second rate to the men's division when all of the belts that they are fighting for, which, by the way, is the only way that you can book a women's story in WWE is with those freaking belts. And every belt that they have is just a miniature representation of the belts that actually matter in WWE's eyes, which are the men's belts. I don't understand why, if you want the women's division to stand on its own, cut the freaking cord and quit being so lazy with your championship designs. But overall, I hate the mid-card title being introduced right now. I feel like you needed to establish some momentum. You needed to let the women cook. You needed to show that you could tell stories without the benefit of a championship and then introduce it, because now you look desperate. You look desperate, and it doesn't make any sense.
You know who did a great job of this? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels had so many women's storylines week to week that he was creating, to the point where Ava was like, in kayfabe, was like, okay, it's time. Like, that was so perfect, because they had so much talent, but like not everybody was ready to be a world champion, like to be the face of the brand. So they're like, okay, we'll give him a stepping stone title. Let's give him the North American Championship. Like, that was so perfect. I feel like Triple H saw all the criticism online, and he's like, oh, well, how do I fix this? Let's just do a women's title. United States Championship. Do that, bitch. Like, white strap. And just, it was so left field. Like, I know we've been talking about it for a while, but we've said on the show, like, there's not enough depth for this. Like, you got to cut the women's tag titles or bring in more women for this specific reason.
Or just let the main roster women fight for the already established, like you said, North American Championship on NXT. Wouldn't be the first time that you've sent a main roster star to NXT to fight for a title. The New Day, Dolph Ziggler, just to name a few. So,
Becky Lynch.
Becky freaking Lynch. Allow that title that exists for a purpose, because NXT said, look at all these women that have been cooking. They deserve a reward. Here's a championship. WWE is saying, oh, God, what do we do with all of these women? Give them a championship. And that's two different things that they are doing. You could have just had all these women, Michin and B-Fab and Candice LeRae and all these other women that you're not using, float to NXT and put them in matches for the already established. And that allows you to build the momentum towards introducing the main roster mid-card title. But introducing it now just makes you look desperate.
So
makes you look desperate, and I feel like with this tournament, they should have used this tournament the same way they were going to crown. Like, I remember when the women's tag titles were vacant, and they used that to call up NXT women's tag teams. Take some of the women on NXT and put them in the tournament. Like, I understand you want to establish the prestige of the title, but Bayley, it makes no fucking sense for Bayley to be there. I'm sorry, I don't want her there. Like, call up a Cora Jade, to be in the tournament in that triple threat. Call up a JC Jane, put her in that put her in the triple threat. You know what I mean? Like, that should be that. Have your already established mid-card women, and then bring some women up in NXT to get some light on them. Win-win for everybody.
So I hear what y'all are saying, and I don't even necessarily disagree.
Here come the Triple H apologist.
No, it's not even Triple H apologist.
Hey, his burners here. Hey, his burners here. We got to be careful.
I 1000% agree with what y'all said. I just am putting out a different perspective. So I'll go in reverse order. So Lewis, to start with you, I feel like the reason they didn't bring up NXT women is because in their minds, the idea of introducing this women's mid-card title is to give all these other women to do so that their death doesn't look as bad. If you bring up all these NXT women to fight for, all you're doing is proving, thus forth, that your main roster women's depth is bad. Especially because it doesn't look like the people you named, doesn't look like they're coming up here anytime soon. So it would just be for one-off. Nate, to you, when it comes to I mean, obviously I've agreed with you. I think they should scrap the tag titles. I mean, they put it on Bianca and Jade. I feel like that was the last ditch effort to save them. Because before that, I mean, shoot, how many times do I got to bring up that Raquel and Aaliyah were the inaugural, or not the inaugural? They won it after it was vacant, beating the newly formed Damage Control, mind you, of a returning Io Sky and a called up Dakota Kai. Raquel and Aaliyah won them things. I tell you that all the time. So yeah, I definitely feel like shout out Raquel.
And then after we had that lame ass feud with Damage Control and Alexa Bliss and Asuka.
Yep, absolutely. So I definitely agree with y'all in that sense. I think they should have been scrapped it. I think one of the reasons they won't scrap it is because, let's be real, if they scrap them tag titles, I think on like a smaller percentage end, they don't want to prove Mercedes Moné right. I think in the small sense, they don't want to prove her right. And then 2, it's only going to further all the noise. Like if they strip them tag titles, the people that probably don't care about them, all of a sudden are going to come out the woodwork and be like, "Oh, why can't you? Why you got to get rid of them? You don't get rid of them for the men. There's that in the third, and it's just going to be a shit show." Now, the last thing I'll say about it, and because I myself have done it as well, where I compare it to NXT and what they do, how many stories they're able to tell. Obviously, he clears in that area. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But I do also feel like we can look at it a little bit more fresh and open because it is one show. Now, if you take all the stories they tell on that show and compare it to the Raw and SmackDown stories they're telling, it's probably equal or NXT has like 2 more because they just had a 10-woman tag match and they're spinning off from that. So they probably got like 2 more, right? Again, we know Shawn Michaels clears in that aspect. But especially because now that Raw is back down to 2 hours, this tournament, even though Bayley's going to win it, and I think it's dumb, but looking at that tournament, who else is going to win it? Bluntly stated, who else is going to win it?
And so here's all right. Here's
who else is going to win it? I think
Naomi.
I think Naomi's
not winning this.
Is Naomi in the tournament?
Here's what I'll say.
Which and she fought for the women's championship, but okay.
No, here's what I'll say. In a tournament aspect, I feel like in a tournament aspect that point should be null and void because I feel like whoever wins a full-fledged tournament, first of all, if you win in the first or second round, you're already built up for that moment in the finals, that you're already credible enough to be there. So that's how Xavier Woods beat fucking Finn Balor in the King of the Ring. Because he beat people in that tournament by round, built them up to beat a caliber guy like Finn Balor. So I understand what you're saying, but I feel like using a tournament aspect, especially in a triple threat match, it's so easy to build somebody up. And by round, they become credible over time to eventually get that huge W.
I agree. Yeah. I'm just saying I don't think they're doing that. I think Bayley's winning this tournament.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
By the way, somebody should have called.
I see that.
By the way, someone should have called an audible with B-Fab on SmackDown because B-Fab had some momentum. Someone should have called an audible, especially if Bayley isn't going to win it. B-Fab should have advanced because she was, for the first time in her entire wrestling career, B-Fab was getting some heat. Like the crowd was behind her. They wanted her to win. And pinning Bayley in that moment, oh my God! Like to Lewis's point, just winning the tournament matches is enough, but to pin Bayley in that moment, and now,
hey, you know what's interesting? After the match, it looks like they're teasing a tag team with Mia Yim and B-Fab. So these 2 mid-card wrestlers are going to go to the tag team division. Your roster's already small enough.
That's stupid.
Your roster. This tournament is the entire SmackDown Women's division, by the way. Like minus obviously Nia Jax. You have your tag team champions in here. So you're telling me that these are like your entire division is going to be fighting for this title. Who's going to be fighting for the main title? Mind you, you have tag teams in here as well. So your division's pretty freaking thin. And you go over to Raw. It's like, oh, Shayna, she's in a tag team. Oh, who else? Io Sky, tag team. Even though she's fighting for the Women's World Championship, she's still in a tag team. I don't like when they do that, low key. But
Dakota Kai's
it's
back,
Io
so
Sky.
she's
She's great.
tag team now.
Good. That's great. I missed Raw. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Okay, cool. So we can take Io out. Katana, tag team. My bad. Jade, tag team. Bianca, tag team. Igo Fire, tag team. Like you have tag teams. Like it's the tag team division has like 6 people in it, but you still need contenders for the World Championship. Now you need contenders for the Midcard Championship. See where the issue is?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with y'all 100%. So Nate, I'm gonna read to you this tournament in case you don't know everybody in it. So the first round that we just saw, Bayley, Candice LeRae, and B-Fab. I don't think Bayley needed to win it. I think it could have went to either one, especially because clearly Candice's pin over Bayley means nothing. We'll see what happens in War Games. We'll see what happens in War Games. Maybe she has a great show and maybe she gets the pin, but I doubt it. Maybe the other round, Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green versus Blair Davenport.
Tag team.
You know who's winning that match?
You have 2 tag team wrestlers. You have 2 tag teams in there. You have 2 tag team wrestlers in there. One of them the champs.
Even though Chelsea and Piper barely ever fight in a tag team, they're still a tag team. Oh yeah, and Blair Davenport has been nowhere to be seen, so she's not winning that match. The other round, Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven versus Mi Chin. Piper has
almost damn near.
Piper
3 tag team wrestlers.
Piper has a slight chance of coming out of that,
which would be cool.
It's probably going to be Jade. Which it would be nice, but it's probably going to be Jade. And then you have Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Elektra Lopez. How is Bayley not winning this match? How is Bayley not winning this US?
Naomi.
Real talk.
Naomi is a perfect person.
Naomi is literally perfect.
Naomi already. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. But here's the other thing, because WWE love their records. She can call herself the first Grand Slam champion again.
She already is. She
already is.
But now you're adding a mid-card. That just adds to it. She can be the first one. She could be the first one.
She already is, bro. She don't need that. Shawn Michaels, you didn't see Shawn Michaels. They didn't give Shawn Michaels United States Championship or whatever new belt.
Regimes don't change with titles. If you're already a Grand Slam under one regime, it doesn't take away that.
Yeah,
that's how Shawn.
I'm not saying it's taken away, but Bayley can be the first ever. Why would I personally, me sitting here, even though Naomi would be great, or maybe one of these new people like a Candice or a Piper, I would love to see Piper win this match, right? That's who I would pick. If it was me, I'd give it to Piper.
So let me be devil's advocate.
Last thing I'll say then, I'm just saying, knowing them, I think Bayley's winning this turn. I think because they want to set up the prestige. I think because they want to set up the
which is fair.
You're gonna get an established girl.
With Naomi.
They're gonna get an established girl who, but I don't think Naomi. I mean, bluntly stated, she ain't got Bayley type of prestige. We love her, but she ain't got Bayley type of prestige. She ain't on that level.
Bayley don't even have Bayley
so to be all right. So to be devil's advocate. One, I don't like Bayley winning because judging by her last title reign, that shit was dog shit. So I don't need that. And 2. We also have to remember why Naomi left WWE, because she wasn't being treated as such. She wasn't she knew her potential. WWE didn't see that. So she's shown in the knockouts division that she can bring that type of prestige to a championship and that she can bring that type of match quality to a championship. And WWE re-signed her because Triple H was like, all right, you proved us wrong. You do have that. So to me, it's a waste to not have Naomi.
Not to mention in WWE canon. Naomi is a former champion already.
Yeah, so. and I don't think Naomi doesn't come back to WWE if she didn't know there was a concrete plan to have her do something. And I feel like now is a perfect layup to have her actually be something.
Especially after that match she had with Nia Jax, I feel like that was perfect. I don't like the idea that she was a number 1 contender and was in the tournament, but as far as the match quality in the tournament, you couldn't have timed that better.
Because you telegraphed that she's going to lose to Nia Jax by putting her in the tournament.
You literally do that. But she had a great showing. So
she did.
And now you can carry that momentum, have her win her triple threat, and have her win the championship. I think that would be absolutely perfect. And it showcases what the Women's United States Championship should be. And it should be a stepping stone for you to go on to have a world title run, even though she's already had one. She hasn't had one in almost 10 years. So this would be the perfect opportunity for her to go from mid-card to be like, okay, she's champion. She could drop it whenever and then go after the main title. And probably, honestly,
that's how mid-card title should always be.
And again, I do not disagree with y'all at all. I believe that because if it was up to me personally, the only established people, first of all, I would make it cross-branded. But the only people that I would have in here that is already established is Naomi. I wouldn't put Bayley. Actually, I probably wouldn't have even put Naomi or announced it off the rip because she just was in a freaking title match right now. So I still would have put Chelsea, Piper. I would have put all them dudes, all them ladies in there, right? And I would have had I wouldn't have made it triple threat. I would have done the exact same thing they did with the Queen of the Ring tournament. Gave these women time, gave them chance to get the crowd actually involved, and made it feel like it meant something. Like remember when Triple H first got in, the first thing he did was make that U.S. title match between Bobby Lashley and Tommaso Ciampa feel like the biggest thing that could possibly happen on that show. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have some of these qualifying matches main event the show just to show you how important it is. Bayley would not be in here. Bianca would not be in here because let's be real. The final four are going to be Bianca, Jade, Naomi, and Bayley.
Yep.
And then one of your tag champions got to lose again. Now I think a Bianca Bayley match right after War Games, I think is going to be good because I think they're going to lose, which we can get onto that later. I think this is going to be the first babyface women's War Game team that loses. This is going to be the first one that loses because they haven't had one yet.
Fucking hope.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose, and I think it's going to be because Bayley and Bianca couldn't get on the same page because they still hate each other.
I don't think they're on the same team.
Bianca and Bayley, yeah, they are.
I think it's Naomi.
Bayley's not in the War Games match.
Yeah, it's Naomi. Spoiler.
Sure
My bad if anybody watching.
Yeah, it's Naomi. Naomi's on the match. It's Naomi, Bianca, Jade, Rhea. Ooh. I don't know if people knew about that one, but yeah.
Oh dang! Was that a Raw spoiler then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Raw was pre-tape last week.
That was kind of evident. That was kind of.
I mean,
she came back with the NBA match. With the NBA.
I mean, I kind of figured.
Phantom Mask.
Yeah. And then there's one more person. There's one more person though. It was them four. And
is it EO still?
Yeah,
EO. That's the team.
Oh, okay. So
EO and Bianca on the same team, but Bayley. Okay. She hates.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a problem.
Like him.
She doesn't have a problem with. She doesn't have a problem with.
Well, that's why Bayley's not on the team
EO,
because of the damage control stuff, you know.
Yes, she do.
But she doesn't have a problem with.
She don't like it. She don't like EO. EO's for damage control.
She wasn't showing it on screen.
That's the problem. Storytelling. That's the problem. That's the problem.
So Nate,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Nate, so if you didn't watch Raw like this past week, not the pre-tape one that's going to show on Monday,
I couldn't get.
They literally fought off the bad guys. And this is Bianca and EO. Okay, I see you. Like literally, they was all good. It was all good.
Didn't EO beat Bianca? Hey, that's terrible. That's
literally
terrible.
cashed in on her. Yeah.
She cashed in. She beat her like last month on Raw, like by roll up. No, that's terrible.
Her main issues with Bayley because she's the leader. She was the leader. You know, that's the story.
She was the leader, but she's still fighting damage control.
I was about to say last time I checked, EO was part of them beatdowns.
No,
and then they got in her face like she was like, I'm not like anyway.
Hey Nate, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Drew kept going after Jay Uso. And Jay's like, I ain't do nothing, bro.
I ain't do nothing.
He literally didn't. He literally didn't.
Yeah. Why he was so mad, like why he was apologized to everybody and didn't want to apologize to Drew just proves why like he was justified. Like, why don't you want to apologize to Drew? He was part of that. You was real quick to apologize to Randy Orton. No.
Drew was a dick about it.
No. So was Kevin Owens. And he ain't had no problem apologizing to that nigga. Kevin Owens was a dick about it.
He buried that nigga. He buried that nigga in like a pile of chairs and ladders, bro. I apologize too. You kind of got to punch, man. One thing he did to Drew was like hit him with a chair a couple times.
He didn't cost Drew nothing.
He didn't. That was solo.
Yeah,
Jay wasn't even in the country. Jay wasn't even in the country.
They couldn't even. They couldn't travel.
He said, "Why fight me? Go beat up Solo, big ass."
And literally, Solo comes in to help Drew at some point.
But we act like Jay Uso and them wasn't gonna help if they was in the country. He was gaslit at this point.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
Solo literally was the reason why Drew lost.
Yeah.
But if you attach to the bloodline, though, you in the bloodline, bro. You feel me?
That's what I'm saying.
When Solo comes around, you have no energy for him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's like,
what you mean?
Solo literally helped Drew beat Cody earlier this year, and he did nothing.
He had no energy.
Remember, that was after he had already went on this, well, okay, then I'm just gonna start looking out for me type attitude. That was way
after. He was already on that timing, bro.
That's already on that timing. Solo finally.
He mad at the wrong nigga pretty much.
No, when Solo cost him,
that energy different when Solo showed up.
Nah.
So you're mad at somebody for doing someone else's mistake, but when that someone else shows up, you quiet. All right.
Hey! I say if you saw Roman, I'll say if you saw Roman backstage, you wouldn't ask for an apology. You'd be silent. He'd be like, "Nah, I'm keep my distance." He wouldn't go to Roman and ask for an apology.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, that's true.
Real quick though, y'all ready for Tiffany Stratton to cash in on that women's U.S. title, bro?
Hey, chill.
I swear, bro. See, Mo, this is why I want to drop kick you, because when I bring up stuff like that, all I do is get shit from you. You out here main thing with this
Tiffany
title.
theory, man.
Nah, it'd be such a troll job. It'd be such a troll job if Nick Aldis made the announcement, he unveiled the belt, and then Tiffany came in and was like, "I'm cashing in now," and she just took the belt and just walked away. Because you can cash in anytime, any place. It doesn't say it has to be a specific person. Just like you cash in for a championship. That's how Asuka was champion.
Yeah.
Hey, if Asuka could win it like that, Tiffany should have walked into Nick Aldis' office and was like,
chill.
Yeah, she's not cashing.
Let's not do that. Let's not.
Hell no.
I don't know when she cashing in, but she's not cashing.
Even Austin Theory was
cashing in on Charlotte.
I would never.
Speaking of which, where is that girl?
She coming. She waiting. When Nia.
Where she still got time to win a title. She still got time to win a title.
Yeah, when Nia's like, oh, I'm the best women's champion ever. Charlotte gonna come out.
Oh, she's gonna win it on women's.
Yeah. She's gonna win it at that Saturday night's main event.
On the New Year's Revolution.
You mean Saturday night's main event?
Whatever. Well, no. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be like whatever the last SmackDown show. They're making it a big deal now. Like last year was like day one.
That was the first show. That was the first show.
The last SmackDown of the year.
On SmackDown, they did like New Year's Revolution or something like that.
That was the first SmackDown of the year.
Yeah.
First SmackDown of the year. Okay, well maybe that's last.
The last SmackDown of the year, she'll pull up. Yeah, last Smack like she did with Ronda.
Wait.
Yeah, she'll pull up.
Wait. When is December 30th is on Monday because that's a Raw in Houston that I want to go to. So 31. So Christmas is on a Wednesday. Okay, never mind. Oh, December 27th. They could do something then.
I don't think there'll be a SmackDown that day. Actually, it might be pre-tape.
It'll be pre-tape.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be pre-tape.
It'll be pre-tape. But even before then, she probably show up before then, bro.
If Charlotte wins on a pre-tape, that's crazy. That's crazy. She'll win the week before. She'll win the week before they tape the
Saturday night's main event, bro. That's where it's gonna be. That's where you're gonna
make up. She's
gonna come out, walk out, and take the title, bro. That's what she's gonna do, bro. She still got time to win the title, and she's won a championship. She's won a championship every year since 2014. So
I'm pissed that she didn't come back in like 4 months. I know she could have. I know you had it. I know you got. I know she had that dog. I knew she was ready. Bro.
She was out the cast.
That's what I'm saying. She was doing squats and stuff. And I was like, nah, like come back.
Yeah, but she was also filming a movie though. She was in a movie.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
can act.
Yeah.
Okay, Queen, chill.
I mean,
it's probably B level. It's probably B level.
It's like an Amazon movie, but she was filming.
I was gonna say, I feel like certain wrestlers.
I was about to say.
I feel like Becky and Bianca are the only women they would actually allow to go like somewhere, like somewhere bigger.
Nah, her return got delayed because she started filming a movie.
Taking time off, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If I got hurt, bro, I'm taking as much time as I can, bro. I'm chilling, bro. Let me spend time with the family. I need to travel and do some shit. Feel me? Before I come back.
I mean, especially if I know I got a championship waiting on me when I get.
Yeah, because when you come back, you know that schedule. You're gonna have to work that. You got to work that.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, she taking her time. She literally her character. December. I'll see you on December, bro. I'll see you on December.
I mean, you the GOAT. I win titles. The fuck?
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That's her entire character, bro.
If I come back and win a title, bro, yeah, I'm moving the league. I'll take as much time as possible. You know what time I'm on when I get back.
Especially if you're that valuable, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll come back.
As soon as you hear my music, bro, you better just change the nameplates already. You just get the guy to come out and unscrew your nameplate.
Hey, you don't live gonna be sitting there like.
That's how Becky Lynch is too, bro. Becky Lynch, bro. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got a she chilling, bro. Everybody's like, when she mad, she chilling.
I could definitely see Charlotte taking that shit off Nia Jax though.
Queen Rollins,
she's taking it off
there, but Becky Lynch chilling, bro. She come back whenever she feel like. You feel me?
But you see, everybody be complaining about. You see, I feel like Charlotte has like a John Cena effect, where people complaining that she winning championships, but every time she wins it, everybody be cheering their ass off. Like, Y'all be
in that
happy
moment,
about
yeah,
it.
they cheer. They always cheer in the moments, you know. They cheer in those
Yeah,
moments, and then
Come
they
on,
hit
man.
afterwards. They do with everybody. They cheer when that moment happens because it's a moment. Then afterwards, everybody's like, "Oh man, oh shit." You know what I'm saying?
Didn't they
I
cheer
mean,
when
when
Jack
Baron-
Swagger
hey.
won the Money in the Bank?
I don't know.
Yeah, they cheer for most of the time. Bro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know-
that's probably what they were singing.
I know.
Like,
When
he beat
hey,
Jericho, we here.
when Baron Corbin was about to cash in, they was hyped for that. This one, Baron Corbin was like,
I used to
not like.
oh man.
Bro, when Lesnar
If
won
all
the
he
title,
would have done was
when he
keep his
pinned
mouth
Big E, they
shut.
pop for that shit, bro. You feel me? Like they always pop for that stuff, bro.
Bro, they
No,
popped
and
when he beat
every
Kofi.
time Brock, I'm saying every time Brock will win a championship, there will be a pop. Like anytime he wins a championship, there will be.
That's why they
Yeah,
would
I was
continue to do it because they've Vince and Money probably thought, oh, they
Him
like
winning the
those
Rumble
moments,
was the only
those
time I
moments.
heard a quiet pop. Like, it was silence. Like, fuck.
Wait,
It's those
what?
moments, bro. It's those moments. that
When
mean
Brock
something.
won the Rumble, like
Oh, when
fucking
he
3
won
years
it,
ago,
yeah.
that
I
was
was about
to say,
one of
when
the
he
first
showed
times
up,
where I
it-
heard silence.
I was about to say when he showed up when I was there, everybody went stupid. Everybody went stupid.
Well, yeah, that was 2023 because they knew he wasn't gonna win. But
Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, nah.
I mean,
That 2022 was egregious.
Hey, speaking of
That's
Brock, I need y'all to sign that checkbook real quick for Brock and
Hell no.
Gunther, please. Gunther.
Oh yeah, he can be deceased. Let me not say deceased. He can be
Wow.
no, because Gunther going to pack him up.
Okay,
gonna whoop that ass,
That's
bro.
That's what I meant to say. Like Gunther going to pack that nigga.
You
up.
think
I
Brock
was
is
like,
Gunther?
good Lord.
What's wrong with
Get
you?
that pocket, bro. You might as well just get them flowers, or man, Gunther going.
Hey,
Pack up is crazy.
can I genuinely ask you a question, Lewis?
That's gonna be the biggest fight. That's gonna be the most intense
said
fight
what?
of his life, bro.
Lewis, I want to genuinely ask you a question because you're the biggest Gunther
I
fan.
barely
know.
talked the whole show. What do you need to ask me?
I just want to know how upset would you genuinely be if they ended Gunther's title reign for a Cena win?
I mean, shit. In that world, I'd have to be a Maivia fan for that to happen.
Not
happening. I have to be on a different universe. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Hey, Cena getting packed up.
I think that
He
should be
back.
the trigger to rebuild Cena.
I promise
Him
you, I'm
losing to
not.
Gunther and then
I'm
rebuild.
genuinely not worried at all. If Cena lines
Who's
up.
gonna pack him up? He's gonna
Yeah,
pack him up.
have Cena put Gunther over.
I
And
don't
then
know, but then again, we said the same thing.
Build him
Sammy,
up.
I didn't think Sammy was gonna beat that nigga either, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's surprising.
yeah,
Sammy don't got a ball spot. So.
Were you
My
mad
jaw
that
was on
Sammy
the
beat
floor.
Gunther? Were you mad that Sammy beat Gunther, Lewis?
You asked me if I was upset. I
Like-
wasn't
like mad
upset.
about the
I
decision.
wasn't upset. Sammy beat Gunther. I was upset that it wasn't Chad Gable, but I wasn't mad
Yeah,
that Sammy
facts.
did. If that makes sense.
Facts.
Fair enough.
I wasn't
Like
mad. I
Sammy
was more,
won it. I was like, okay. Like,
but I was more so of like,
Sammy, but I
didn't-
prefer to be Chad.
I definitely didn't think Sammy was gonna win though. I would have bet like
No.
My jaw was on the
I'd have
floor.
bet $100.
Somebody in my chat
Now-
kept saying
yeah,
Sammy's winning.
I will
and
say
was
though,
like,
that entire week build, I was talking a lot of shit. You know, it did hurt, but if it makes sense, I wasn't mad that Sammy won in that moment. I would have just preferred Chad, if that makes sense.
yeah.
I
The
mean,
story
in
was
my opinion,
makes sense.
I'll get hate for this. I don't care. I still don't think it makes sense. I still
Stop
don't think it makes
swearing.
sense.
Stop swearing.
I still think.
Does Sammy beat Gunther?
I still
How?
think it should have been Chad Gable. I still think that's the
Oh,
story
yeah.
that makes
That
the
was the
absolute
story.
most
I
sense.
mean, I'm not like.
The story they told with Sammy wasn't terrible. I'm just mad that they kept
Yeah.
that
It wasn't
character
terrible,
Sammy
but-
past him being a Gunther.
Well, I think
Sammy should at least
because-
put Chad over.
in my opinion, I mean,
Nah,
I
I
think
would never
Acting
do
like an
that, bro.
underdog against Chad
Yeah.
Gable's sick work. I ain't gonna lie, that's sick.
yeah, bro,
Yeah,
and for me, bro, what makes me upset because it wasn't like it was like the worst story ever told, but to
Yeah.
me, Sammy went on this whole I don't know where I fit, like a couple months or weeks before we got there, when him fighting Gunther was like nowhere near on the radar, and he was having this whole I don't know where I fit. I beat the Usos, greatest tag team ever at Mania with my best friend, and now I'm kind of lost. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? But I was like, I guess, okay, maybe you don't know if you're a main eventer. Cool, fine. I know I've spoken with Nate about this, but my whole thing, what I think they should have done to this day, I think, okay, he beats the greatest tag team ever. Fine. You go from that high of main eventing WrestleMania to not even being on the card the following year. Really having to build yourself up to then winning the world title the next year. I think if they would have told that story, he could have beat Gunther at this next world title. He could have been Gunther. He could have been Gunther.
I'd have been cool with that.
But to me, I think they just gave Sammy Chad Gable's thunder, just flipped it a little bit. That's what I think they did.
Of course. I never thought it was gonna be Chad Gable though. I was like, I don't see.
Really? I did. I for sure thought
especially after when he lost to Gunther. When he lost to Gunther, and then Sammy took it, and then they were like, I'm like, okay, but you're gonna have Chad beat Sammy. Chad couldn't even beat Gunther. Sammy just beat Gunther. I don't see it, bro. Like,
no. I'm saying I thought it was going to be like.
And I never thought Chad Gable was beating Gunther.
I thought Chad was winning as soon as he announced he re-signed with WWE, and I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna.
I thought Chad Gable was going to win at Mania as like part of the trilogy because he lost the first one, and then he kind of beat him like in the beat the clock or whatever, and then he made his daughter cry, and I was like, oh. That's clearly the setup for me. Like, I thought, hey, good job. Can't wait till we get there. This is going to be amazing. And they just gave Sammy. Like, I felt Sammy's was rushed, in my opinion.
It kind of was.
Oh, I guess we'll put Sammy here.
Yeah, I never felt Chad was going to be. Because whoever beat Gunther was going to have to be somebody that they were going to at least try to help elevate up, or somebody who just looked at it as more of the guy. I didn't think Chad Gable was that guy.
But what you said, somebody who were going to try to elevate up, they literally could have done the exact same thing with Chad Gable that they did with Sammy, because all they did was feed him the Braun Breaker. They could have done the same thing with Chad Gable. So if that's what they were going to do, then that just proves more to me why it definitely should have been Chad Gable. If Sammy would have had a better or longer run, then I give it to you. But with everything they did, Braun Breaker could have easily killed Chad Gable, and it actually would have been more compelling.
I think stylistically they would have had better matchups too, because I wasn't feeling Sammy and Braun's matchups. They were too.
The 2 out of 3 falls match was good. I like the 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but G, to answer your question about the John Cena thing, I'm not worried because as of right now, I feel like there's a clear layup on who I think has the best chance of beating Gunther, and I think it's Ilya. The only reason I think it's Ilya is because on very rare occasions does WWE make what happens on house shows canon, and the fact that they talked about Ilya's injury that happened on the house show on ACL and they shown it to me that
Gunther entrance.
To me, they have a very clear plan that Ilya's going to come back and destroy every motherfucker until he gets Gunther. That's the clear layout.
The world title,
Ilya is his kryptonite.
He's one of them. Yeah.
I hear you, but just in this,
I think it's gonna be Braun Breaker. But
do I think Ilya holds the belt for long? No, because Gunther's title reign isn't propelled for anybody to beat him to hold it long term. He's not on that. It's just Gunther's just gonna whoop ass, but it's not gonna elevate anybody to hold it long term.
I'm not gonna say
2 people I got in mind right now.
Braun Breaker's another one. I'm not going.
Well, here's my thing. I'm not gonna say what you're saying is wrong, Lewis. What I'm gonna say is, and what I always feared with Ilya when he got to the main roster anyway, they're gonna have to do a lot of work to get him. Not to say he's not over, but over with the casual crowd.
Yeah,
that's what I feel.
I agree.
Was always gonna be his Achilles heel.
I think he was getting over,
but he wasn't doing.
I think he was.
Before. He just lost a lot. He just lost.
And that's my thing. I'm not saying he wasn't doing good. I was just like.
No, I see what you're saying. I get it.
I like to come back and him be the one to beat Gunther for that world title. I'm not saying he can't beat Gunther. I just don't know if it's going to be for the world title.
I mean, I know we said stop saying shit about NXT, but got to be the same way how he was booked in NXT. He just has to show up and kill people now, because now he has that clear motivation to put him over that hump. Like you guys don't understand. This motherfucker took like 7 to 9 months of my career. Like it's Gunther or bust. So that's where I feel like if anybody has the strongest layup to potentially beat Gunther, not beat him, but if they were to face off, it's unpredictable. I think Ilya is one of the only guys.
Well, who do we think is Gunther's Mania's match?
Excluding
Brock Lesnar.
You're making this hard. Cena? Literally, yeah.
Maybe Cena.
But I have to see what Cena does when he comes back to really dictate anything.
Yeah, because I still think eventually, I don't know when, but they still gonna put the title on CM Punk eventually. He's gonna get that title.
Oh, for sure.
It's just a matter of when.
I agree.
Who he beats.
Or which one.
I can't wait for it.
I think it'll be the world title. I mean, they could have the WWE title, but I mean, he's gonna get it eventually. You know what I mean? Like we know this year, clear cut, he would have already had it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was about to say he was already gonna have it.
It would have been his. Drew, I still think is in the conversation too to get one eventually. Like he's also still.
Think he faces Gunther again potentially.
Drew and Gunther again. I mean, they would have to coming off that losing Punk streak. I don't know. Maybe.
Nah, you gotta wait till the draft and just have Drew versus Cody.
Oh my god, that'd be
money.
Fucking god.
Drew already pinned him too.
And Drew has a win over Cody.
Yeah, Drew already pinned him.
And if we're talking, I mean, if we talked earlier, if they do like Roman and Seth, and they do Cody versus Rock, I mean, I can see them doing Gunther and Punk at WrestleMania if they wanted to do something like that, because that's a big match right there. I mean, Gunther's gonna have to face somebody with the big name though. It's gonna have to be somebody like a Cena, a Punk, a Lesnar, or somebody with a big name. I don't think he's gonna go in there and face a Sami Zayn again or something, especially with the world title.
Gunther's is in a weird spot, but it's a good.
Not to mention the main event, like that could main event, because night 2 is gonna be. I still think it's gonna be Cody, Rock, and Roman, the triple threat. You know what I mean? But even if Cody's not involved, the Rock and Roman would be the main event for night 2. So Cody would probably main event night 1. But if they do the triple threat for night 2, that's main event. What's gonna main event night 1 then? You know what I mean? It'd probably be Gunther and Cena could be the option if they want to go that direction. I mean, I wouldn't say Gunther. I still don't think Gunther is losing to Cena just because of Cena's presentation over the last 6 years. Could they do it for the moment? Yes, I get it. Because realistically, we talked about it before, like Lewis said, like Cena's lost all these matches, but they're not going to care if he beats Gunther because it's John Cena now.
I think we just got to wait. I think the Cena conversation's got to stop until we actually see what he's going to do on TV.
Yeah,
it's so weird to book him, like to book this or book that, but what if that's not what they're talking about? He could just be coming back to just put over young people for the entire calendar year, and we know Cena doesn't mind doing that at this stage.
Right. Yeah.
So Cena's such an outlier. We're gonna see him Royal Rumble, some shit like
Rumble,
that.
Yeah, he confirmed he's gonna be in the Rumble.
So
I think he's gonna be on the first Raw.
In the Rumble or at the Rumble?
Both.
I think he said he's gonna be in
the Rumble.
Yeah.
And Elimination Chamber. He said Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that man! I don't know if his joints can take.
Oh,
I think he'll have a match at Elimination Chamber.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if he's gonna be in it, bro. That man.
Yeah. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? They
last
say at Mania Theory, go get back against Cena.
Oh God! I mean, he kind of got it.
Oh shit! What you mean he kind of got it?
He kind of
he
won the match.
Hold on, wait, you're getting. Oh man, that just came to me. Damn it!
I mean, Braun Breaker has to be his last, right? It has to.
Yes.
It just came to me because we talked about who Gunther gonna face in Mania, but I think we're forgetting. Oh
Goldberg?
man,
No.
Goldberg, yeah.
Hey,
No, bro.
We know that's a retirement match, bro. He already said he's having a
Triple
retirement
H.
match.
Just for Triple H. Just don't.
You're telling me. You're telling me. No, fuck that. You telling me Gunther gonna waste the biggest show on the wrestling calendar out of every single promotion, the best wrestler in the world. You're going to give him 5 minutes maximum. 5 minutes. 5 minutes maximum. That's a Royal Rumble match.
Goldberg.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't even want to see that match in their prime.
Nate, I agree with you that it is a Royal Rumble match for sure. Hands down, that is a Rumble match because I think we all know Finn Balor is going to cost Damian Priest his title, right? I think we all pretty much know that.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think that is absolutely a Rumble match because it's a filler until we get to, and then you can be like, okay, well, I'll see who my challenger is after wins the Rumble, yada yada yada. We think it might be Cena, feuding with Gunther, whatever the case. So I'm with you on that. But I am not going to put it past Triple H to stick Gunther versus Goldberg on night 1 in the middle of that fucking card.
Wait, Gunther
in the middle of that fucking card.
Goldberg wins, though.
The thing is, the one thing that Triple H does
definitely.
that Vince also did that, even though Triple H is a little better at listening, one thing that Triple H does, he sure do care about them crowd reactions. And every time Gunther come out, every time Goldberg come out, them niggas is chanting Goldberg. They will
because he's a legend, but no,
it's a casual audience in the main roster, bro. Main roster is different.
Yeah, I'd agree if it was anybody else besides his baby Boo Boo Bear holding the world title, which is Gunther. So
that's more of a reason why he would want to feed Goldberg to him. A win over Goldberg, that shit.
Oh, I thought you talking about Goldberg being a Gunther. I was like,
no.
He's gonna retire.
Gunther built to ass. Yeah.
At WrestleMania though.
At WrestleMania is tragic.
You
better have two title
defenses. I'm not going to put it
we know the
past
quality of the
you.
match is
Man,
ass,
you
but on
stupid,
paper
man,
it's pretty big. Paper.
Listen, they're gonna have Goldberg because they're gonna give Gunther the asterisk of he retired Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? That's
do it at the Rumble.
That's for his legacy.
And then Braun
they're not gonna have Goldberg retire for Royal Rumble. They're not gonna do that.
And
Braun can just retire both. Braun can just retire both.
Oh, Braun could retire both. Hey, he's a new legend.
Unless they have Goldberg do 2 matches where he faces somebody else after Gunther.
Yeah, Braun Breaker.
Honestly, I think
if they one match, it's probably gonna happen at WrestleMania.
Realistically, I think it's Braun Breaker versus Goldberg. I think it's
that would make
that's what they should do, but they never.
That's fine.
He said a retirement match. He didn't say retirement matches. He said match.
Hey, but what I will say, like I said, I would not be surprised if on that night 1 7-match card, Gunther versus Goldberg is dead smack in the middle.
That's a waste of the world title.
It's not gonna be too long. That's gonna be a match that's gonna be 5-10 minutes max.
Honestly,
I give it 3.
Hey, this is very much a side note as well. I think it's safe to say that we're not gonna have women main eventing this Mania again, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very unfortunate, but
it's very unfortunate.
They don't have a Mania match that builds up that.
And this is why I got worried when they were just putting women main events for the sake of women main events. Because now if you don't have one, right?
There's only been like 2.
Well, which one didn't deserve it?
Has there been 3?
No, there's only been 2.
Was it really only Becky and Sasha? But Sasha Bianca? Was that really only 2?
That's 2.
Yeah, Sasha Bianca, and then
that was the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, either way, that's fine. I thought there was 3, but no. But in fairness, I've already said on this show that I feel like the only reason Sasha and Bianca main evented was because it was 2 black women main eventing.
No, bro. Stop it.
I've already said that. We don't have to get into it.
Okay. All right. No. Listen. No, G. I'm about to break this down. G, I'm about to break this down. Dog. Drew and Bobby wanted to open. They wanted to open the show. Drew wanted to be the first match in front of the crowds. You already have Roman's match main eventing. Mm-hmm. What other match is going to main event WrestleMania?
Oh,
what other match?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I
love Asuka, and Rhea was great, but she's literally NXT call, so don't even use that one.
No. I agree with you in that aspect. I'm not saying that. So maybe saying only reason was hyperbolic. Let me rephrase.
Yeah,
okay. Saying only reason is probably where it got you. So let me rephrase. Because yes, Drew and Bobby did want to open. I remember that. That was confirmed. They came out of their mouth. That's fine. I'm saying it was not a good enough story to be in the main event, other than it's 2 black women main eventing. Because that is a story that should have written itself. But they were feuding with Reggie in the meantime. So that is what I'm saying. That maybe it's not the only reason, but it definitely wasn't a good enough reason based on how bad that story was.
I think for the women, though, too, it doesn't really even have to be a good story. They just need the star power. Like something that just can't outmatch
them. They literally need Becky or Bianca and Rhea. That like is literally like.
But my whole thing was.
That's your next women's main event right there.
But my whole thing was with that, though, is because then we've also had discourse. Like, for example, a lot of people were saying Rhea and Charlotte should have main evented one of the nights. Yeah, the match deservingly so.
Great.
But the feud going into it was dog. And compared to the tag team story they were doing, doesn't even come close. Right? We had a lot of people think, and then we had the discourse about, oh, well, Bayley won the Royal Rumble, so you should have the Royal Rumble win as main event. Even if CM Punk doesn't get hurt, they weren't going to main event over Punk Rollins.
But that hasn't been a thing forever.
You're right. But that's what I'm saying.
Since the 90s.
But that's what I'm saying. We have a lot of discourse now where it's like, I feel like a lot of people feel like there should be one. It really hasn't. But a lot of people feel like there should always be a woman match main eventing now. You have 2 nights. You should do it. And I'm like, there's really only ever been 2 stories.
They're only gonna do it. They're only gonna do it if it matches up where like you like Nate said, there's 2 women or 3 women in the match that you can't refuse to put there because their star power is so big. Where you like a Becky, Bianca, Charlotte, it's gonna have to be those people. Like Io and Bailey, great
Like,
match.
Bianca and Rhea might
not
be
not really WrestleMania going to main event over something like Seth Rollins, CM Punk, or especially when The Rock's on the card. Like, what?
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, Mo, even what you said, Charlotte and Rhea, them alone should be able to main event a WrestleMania.
That'd be a great
match. Their story, yeah, because the thing is, before you get to a match, you got to tell a story.
Yeah.
And if you're not telling a good enough story where people are damn near calling you a bathroom break match, even though the match was great, I told y'all all the time, because of the story they were telling with Bailey and Io, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the match is going to be great because I know what they're capable of. But their story is dog. I don't want to see that in the main event.
I think the big difference here between that,
it just
like
comes
39, they already had a story that should have main evented night one anyway. 37 didn't have that. 37 outside of Roman, Edge, and Bryan didn't really have any other match that could have really been a main event that would have made sense.
Well, it would have, but they chose to go. They chose to open.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I get your point. But like even then, like okay, that's fine, that's cool. We had it, but then it was like I felt they were gonna. At least the fans were kind of fall into that trap of well, now we got to have a woman one every month, and I'm not in the process of just putting them in the main event because they're women. And if we would have done that the past couple of years when they was talking about it, we would have only done it because, like, I'm sorry, Rhea Charlotte, great match. It would have pissed me off if that would have been the way we ended that WrestleMania.
I agree. Sami Zayn needed to main event that
year. Especially using hindsight how Rhea's title reign panned out. Yeah, that would
exactly.
That shit would have pissed me off.
In reality, though, people got to stop. I know WWE says whoever wins the Royal Rumble is in the main event of WrestleMania. They've been saying that forever, but in reality, that hasn't been in years, bro. You can go back. Not even people are starting to bring it up recently. People are starting to bring it up recently.
NFL,
you can go back years ago, bro. Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble. He wasn't in the main
event. Bro, an NFL player main evented WrestleMania over a Royal Rumble winner, bro. There's that shit don't matter. That shit literally does not matter.
They actually had a stretch for a couple of years where people didn't main event. Like I said, Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble. He didn't main event. Undertaker,
yeah.
You know, like all these people, won Royal Rumbles. They never main event. Sheamus won the Royal Rumble. He wasn't in the main event. You know what I mean? Like certain people, just because they won the Royal Rumble doesn't mean they're going to main event.
Did Cena main event the year? Well, I know the one with Rock. The first time he won.
The first time he didn't even main event that one.
Yeah, I was like, Cena ain't main event. I know he
Edge did a main event.
I know he main event. Matter of fact, we should look that up. How many Royal Rumble winners actually main evented the show?
I'll do the math right now.
Probably less than half. I feel like it's less than half. I'm
low-key
feel like
especially
we got two winners.
Especially if we count the women, it's definitely less than half.
Okay, so it didn't become a rule.
Asuka didn't main event against Charlotte.
Shinsuke didn't either. They had two of them.
The only two women's Royal Rumble main eventers for WrestleMania have been Becky and Bianca.
They had two Rumble winners in the same year who didn't even main event the show.
That is crazy.
Drew did a main event because he faced Big Show after.
Well, he did technically main event.
No, because he faced Big Show. It was Big Show.
Yeah, because it was Drew. Because Drew. Yeah, Drew still main evented.
I don't know what that was about.
It was like we have a big surprise that happened after WrestleMania went off the air.
But that's literally
Big Show, man.
Oh yeah,
that logic
Taker
really
didn't
has
even
never
main event
been that logic literally has never really been a real thing, only for certain years. And I feel like people are only starting to bring it up.
Seth Rollins did a main event. He opened.
Yeah.
They should just say for now the winner, whoever wins the Royal Rumble, we just don't get to a world title match. Doesn't mean they're going to be in the main event. Like you're getting a match at WrestleMania for the title. But literally, there's probably more people. Guaranteed, there's probably more people who have won the Rumble who didn't main event WrestleMania, opposed to people who did win and did main event.
There is. I'm counting right now.
I'm trying to see.
I'm very curious.
Randy Orton did a main event.
Right? Randy, yep. I just
main event one time.
27. Yeah, one time.
He did 09. Yeah.
And then
17 did
against Bray Wyatt, that was Undertaker and Roman, right?
2020. Who won 2020? Oh yeah.
2020 was Drew. Edge,
2020 women's they didn't main event.
Yeah. Both won. See, 2021 was the only time where both people got the main event because Bianca and Edge won that year, so they both got that.
Yeah.
2022, Ronda wasn't in the main event.
Neither did Brock won it.
Yeah, Brock won that year, unfortunately.
2024, Bayley.
So it looks like 5.
And 2023 was the only Cody main event, but that only because there was literally one world champion, and it was Roman Reigns. It was the only one person to go after, and Roman Reigns.
I mean, he was going to main event regardless.
No, but if there had been 2 champions, he didn't pick Roman Reigns, then maybe it wouldn't have. You know, feel me? Like we don't know.
It was 2 nights, so that's why I said I feel like he was going to main event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was going to main event. Like for example, if there was another champion
there too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If there was another champion, let's say he picked them, Cody would have main evented.
It's probably would have depended on it probably would have changed the night that he main evented.
If Roman didn't have both titles, I don't think the Usos and Kevin and Sammy main event.
I don't think so either. I think they put Cody with somebody, depending on who Cody.
Exactly. So I think we have Cody main eventing, right, twice. So if we want to count 2, then we can. So we have Cody main eventing. We had Randy main event, one of them. Cena main event, one of them. Becky, Bianca. So we're at 6.
Edge
main evented 1.
Austin.
Yeah.
99.
I don't think.
No, he didn't even win 99. Never mind. No, can't even count him.
No.
2000.
He main evented 2001 and 98.
I
got the head count.
01.
So out of all the Rumble, since they instituted the rule that if you win the Rumble, you get a title match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 18 of them have not main evented.
Damn.
18 of the winners have not main evented.
How many winners is that?
18 out of how many?
Let me finish that real quick.
Because if it's since 92, we can add. There's at least 30 because we're in 2024. So there's at least 32 winners, and that's not counting the women. So there's at least 32 Rumble winners out of that, and we've had Royal Rumbles for women since 2018. So that's 38. So 18 out of 38. You said didn't main event?
Didn't main event.
That's a
higher percent. I mean, that's a lower percentage than I thought.
Yeah.
Well, the only people that have main evented, Shawn Michaels main evented in 96 because he won that year. Yep. 97 was Austin.
31%.
Didn't main event that year. 98 he main evented. 2001 he also main evented. The Rock main evented in 2000 as well because he won the Rumble that year. 2002 was Triple H. He was in the main event. Lesnar was in the main event because he went 03. 04 was Benoit. He was in the main event. 05 was Batista. He was in the main event. 06, 07, and 08. Nobody main evented those years.
That's crazy.
09, Orton main evented. 2010, Edge won. He didn't main event. 11 was Del Rio. He definitely didn't main event.
Open.
He was like second or third on the card.
No, he
opened.
He was open. He opened the show.
They opened, yeah.
2012 was Sheamus. He opened the show. 2013 was Cena. He main evented. 14 was Batista. Roman was 15. They main evented. 16 was Triple H, so he main evented because he won the title that year. 17 was Orton, didn't main event. 18 Shinsuke or Asuka didn't main event. 19
Wait, you said
Seth Rollins. Huh?
You said 17 was Orton?
Yeah, 17 Orton didn't win. He didn't main event. 19 Seth Rollins was in the main event either. He won. 20 Drew got the main event, but Charlotte didn't.
Orton won in 17. Who did he fight?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Oh,
the Maggots match.
Forgot that.
Yeah, Maggots.
The Maggots match.
I forgot that.
Shit.
2021 both main evented. First time and only time that's happened. 2022 Brock got the main event. Ronda didn't. 23 Cody got the main event. Rhea didn't. And then this year Cody got the main event. Bailey didn't. So they're consistent with the men. Now
it's basically split down the middles.
And next year, I don't think either of them are getting the main event. Sadly.
What? You don't think either Rumble winner is going to get the main event?
I don't think Cena and Gunther will be main eventing. If they do.
They'll main event that one.
I don't. Maybe, but I
feel like
Punk and Seth is there, so.
Especially
because Punk and Seth is there. So I don't know if they're going to give it to Cena.
No, they'll give it to Cena over that because it's his last Mania, and that's how they're gonna build it up. Last Mania world title match, like that's how they're gonna build it up.
I hear you, and I want to be shocked, but I personally think Cody, I think Rock and Roman, and then Punk and Seth are like my top two lots for a main event. And then if Cody faces Kevin, that won't be a main event.
Split.
If
Cody faces Randy, though, that's a main event.
It can be, but I don't think they're going to do it over Punk and I don't think they're going to do it over Punk and Seth. I'm already off the Cody.
Ooh.
I'm already off the Cody Randy because of what Kevin is doing right now. I'm off the Cody.
Here's the thing with the Kevin.
I think
Kevin
Cody's kind of like the
thing.
new Roman. Cody's main eventing WrestleMania no matter what to me.
He has to. At least night one.
He's main eventing one of the nights.
At least night one. But if they're gonna do KO and
good.
Cody at Saturday night's main event, I think it's gonna be a triple threat, if anything, with KO.
I think that's gonna be the first match. I think Kevin is getting more than one match for this. Or the second match.
The second match, yeah.
The second match.
Oh yeah, technically.
I think they do the triple threat at the Rumble. Because the Rumble's so stacked now, they don't have to put Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in there. Like they can add other people and put other people in that, so that'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I don't see Cody doing the Elimination Chamber match unless they wanted him to go through something like that, but I don't see him doing that. But I think they're doing the triple threat for night 2. That adds everybody in there for the main event they want, and then night 1 will be if Cena faces Gunther. I don't know if he will, but if he does go that route,
I think the way it's gonna pan out. Let's just say they do the Saturday night main event and they don't do a match at War Games, right? Because this would be the first pay-per-view that Cody's not on.
Yeah.
If they don't do the match here. So don't know if they want to break that streak, but let's just say they do. So let's say they do Saturday night main event. I think Randy Orton comes back and costs Kevin Owens that match.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And then I think you get I'll probably be out right now too. I think you get Kevin, Cody at the Rumble in a one-off blow-off match. Kevin Owens was still into the Rumble. He can do something where he takes somebody out and takes their spot. I don't know. I don't care. You do that, he wins it. Cody, Kevin at Mania.
I think that's the good thing about this era. So many possibilities, bro, and they're all good.
Which I will give credit to Triple H for, because under Vince, there was only like 3 things.
You knew what was happening, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of different directions they can go in, man. So I guess we'll wait and see. What happens. So we'll be back next week. Make sure you guys subscribe to the pod, like, share, comment below. Let us know some things that you like about Triple H's